Oh boy. Happy Saturday morning. It is Saturday, right? I think it's Saturday. Oh man, I can't wait for... What are we in, winter right now? Is this winter? Is this spring? Is it supposed to be spring? I don't know anymore. Seasons are all effed up. I can't wait until it's over 80 degrees again. I hate the cold. This is going to be about conspiracy theories a little bit today, and also about AI, because, you know, if conspiracy theories are, if you think they're bad now, just wait until the AI kicks in, and it's going to get real fun real soon here. But my boss made the joke the other day, because I was complaining about how cold it was, and everybody else likes it colder. And he's like, you're a serpent person. And I was like, holy shit, I might actually be the lizard people. I think I might be the lizard people. But I really do. I like it when it's like 100 degrees. I shit you not. I love the hot weather. I like to sweat. I like to feel the heat. What's up, Mike? Oh, man. Well, we just started. I'm sure they'll be here soon. We're going to talk about some of the fun things they like to talk about today. This kind of, you know, almost every time that I decide to get on here and do one of these, it's because I saw a video that I liked, and I want to talk to you guys about it. Let me see if I can find the one. Here it is. So the reason I wanted to do this... I mean, it's because I saw this Legia Miller video, AI is bad for democracy. And I've been spending recently quite a bit of time with in a text conversation with my friend's wife, who is trying to convince me that I am asleep and I need to wake up to all the conspiracy theories that are going on in this world. And I appreciate her for trying to wake me up. I am rather tired. But I think... you know, I've always said I think that there is something to people being so hyper laser focused on the government that it causes the government to be more transparent. I don't believe 99% of the crazy stuff that people want me to believe. I also think that a lot of times people just get wrong why things are the way they are. I think a lot of people kind of add like nefarious means or you know, they give people way too much credit in the government for being capable of getting anything done. Whereas I'm more of an Alan Moore guy. I don't know if you guys know who Alan Moore is. But you know, his quote of people think that the Illuminati is in charge, and the real scary thing is that the world is rudderless and that no one is in control. That's like the real scary thing, is that we as human beings really want to be able to control things super bad, you know, but at the end of the day, it's almost impossible to handle things on that level competently, and we see it consistently with our government. I mean, and I get why people go there, because I just watched, you know, I think the 3rd episode of that Turning Point documentary on Netflix. When you start, you know, watching all the stuff about the Iranian government being, you know, overthrown, and the Guatemalan and all of the stuff that happened with the nuclear weapons, I can understand why people get a little bit out there. But, you know, I keep saying this. I think that the reason that I have a lot more faith, and that's a figurative term or a relative term, in today's government, is because of the diversity of our government, at least on the left, seeing, you know, a lot of different types of people in government, seeing a lot of different people with different backgrounds in government. When you look back on that Turning Point documentary, you see nothing but old white men. And, you know, I'm not saying that there is a specific evil that only those dudes had. But what I am saying is, when you look at the person across from you and they have all the same interests as you, when they have all the same background as you, and you lack the diversity, then yeah, you're going to find that you're more often than not sharing a common goal. And those goals back then obviously weren't great for certain people. So I look at our government now and how it's progressing. I don't think it's great. I think it's flawed. I think it's imperfect, but I think that it's progressing in a better way. And I think that diversity is part of that. I know that's those words trigger the shit out of people on the right now. You know, diversity, holy shit. It's so weird, the words that have become bad words. So you know, like when I saw the AI is bad for democracy thing, this is something that I like actually care about. Birds aren't real. No, boats aren't real, Rich. My buddy was talking about here's my ADD brain, right? My buddy was talking about the boat running into the bridge, and then of course we start joking and going down the route of conspiracy theory and making up stuff. And we're like, what if the boat wasn't like it ran into the bridge, but it was all like a big hologram? And he's like, what if the bridge wasn't real? And I looked at it and I said, what if the boat wasn't real? And that, of course, led to boats aren't real, bro. Boats aren't real. I might make a shirt with the boat. Nah, that'd be messed up. I have too much empathy for the families, but I make a shirt with the bridge, the boat running into it, and it says boats aren't real. Yeah, there's diversity on the left, Sonia. What are you talking about? When you look at AOC, you look at all the squad, like all those guys are different. You got a Palestinian in there, you got a Puerto Rican, but when you look at the right side, there is no diversity. When you look at the State of the Union and you look on the left side, the left is like lots of different types of people: women, men, minorities. I mean, sure, there could be a lot more, obviously. Like I said, we're not perfect. We're moving more and more into that area where we have greater diversity. But when you look on the right, it's just like old white dudes still. It's the dudes that are in the Turning Point documentary. I look at the dudes on the. It's like Byron Donald's like the only black dude. It's like a Mexican, a couple women, and then it's nothing but old white dudes. But when we do look at, I have to disagree with that. I think when we look at the left, I think that you are seeing a greater portion of diversity, but 100% there's a long way to go to gaining more, like, for sure. Gingers are tealing our souls is winning right now because I forgot to put boats aren't real takes the lead. But yeah, it's kind of, we're kind of at this point right now with AI where we're working our way into a place where if you think people are really like worked up about conspiracy theory on the right now, just wait, because AI is going to really change things, and it's about to get real crazy, because we had people that were really complaining about the way that the media skews things, the way that media, clips things. Like one of the things with conspiracy theorists when they're sending me information, because they like to try to they're like, no, you don't know, you don't know these things. And I've had multiple people do this, is they send me clips. One of the clips I got was Obama talking about how to manipulate the media. And like, just from his tone of voice and stuff, I could tell that was clipped out of context. I was like, he's clearly talking about how people use that in nefarious ways and how it's not okay. But they took even that clip and they clipped it in a way to make it sound like he was saying it's something that you should do. So if you think that was bad, right? Like, just wait until AI, really gets moving and it becomes easier to do and harder not to believe. What is that old quote from Sam Harris? It was like a quote from Sam Harris about like eating babies if the world got to like a bad place. And if you watch that in the full context of the conversation between Sam Harris and Cenk, he literally says, like, I think he says either I hope people don't clip this, or he says people are going to clip this and take it out of context. And then people did it and it blew up. And people actually on the left, a ton of people on the left left his or unsubscribed from him because they thought that that's what he said. And this is what I'm saying. People got you got to do a little more research. You got to not jump to conclusions when it comes to the boat hit the bridge thing. Like, we got to be better about garnering facts and actual information before jumping to conclusions, because in my opinion, Sam Harris is incredibly intelligent. I think that there's a lot of things that I don't agree with that he says, but I think that there's a lot of things I do agree with that he says, and he's a very intelligent person. And if you're going to leave or unsubscribe to his shit over that, like, at least unsubscribe for a reason, like a real reason, like not something that's clipped out of context. Like, if you don't like his views on religion, on Islam, 100%, I understand why you don't want to follow him for those things. But if you're leaving him because you thought that he said that we should eat babies, like, that's completely out of context. And come on, guys, we're better than that. Hey, what's happening, Trent? Yeah, you dislike him because of his, and I can understand that. I like listening to people that I don't 100% agree with. I like listening to people's ideas in a diverse way, to make sure that both I understand my argument against what they think, and also hearing things at times that I do agree with from, somebody that I disagree with is also actually very important. I had a conversation with an employee once where she said, "You're always wearing the same shirt," which you guys probably know. And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Why are you always wearing the same shirt?" And she was a little bit SJW, She was fighting the good fight, And so I said, "Well, I heard Mark Zuckerberg once say," and as soon as I said I heard Mark Zuckerberg once say, she her face changed. I could tell she was about to give me the hard stuff, but I continued anyways because that's what I do. And I was like, I once heard Mark Zuckerberg say, "When I wake up in the morning, I have better things to think about than the clothes I'm going to wear for the day." So that's why he wears like the same clothes all the time. And she said, "Mark Zuckerberg? You like Mark Zuckerberg?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know if I like Mark Zuckerberg. What he said made sense." And she said, "Well, he's a piece of shit, and he's bought all this Hawaii land, and he's done this other thing, and he does." And I said, "Well, yeah, I didn't say that I thought he was a good person." I said what he said, thought it made sense. And I think that's a trap. That's a trap, guys. It's a trap to say that because you dislike who a person is that they've never ever said anything. It's like I've said about the saying Joe Biden isn't old thing. It's okay to admit he's old, but you also can point out that he's probably one of the most successful presidents in the past 10 to 20 years, or fuck, a lot longer than that, to be honest. But that's who I am as a person. So when I'm listening to Sam Harris, I want to hear a lot from Sam Harris about the things that I think that he is really, intelligent on, and some of the things I may disagree with. I haven't actually heard his views on Palestine and Islam, to tell you the truth, because I very rarely listen to Sam Harris because he's not he doesn't pop up in my feed anymore. So I'm potentially just saying a bunch of shit right now that people are like, "Yeah, well, you haven't heard what he said recently, and he's an asshole." Anyways, before we get into this, there's a couple videos I wanted to share that look super fucking funny. This one right here, Shane Gillis is Donald Trump acting as Hitler. We're gonna watch that one. I mean, come on, guys. That picture right there by itself tells you need to watch this video, right? Okay. And then a couple of the other ones. We want to get to the Legion Miller one. I don't know if PBS will let me watch the video on AI Revolution, but I thought that's kind of educational. And then to get into a little bit of conspiracy theories, why people believe in conspiracy theories, all that stuff, a little bit of educational as well. And then where is the one though? I mean, there's the funniest. I thought I had another one on here. I guess I don't. But yeah, there's some funny videos. But as usual, let's start the show off like we can always depend on by looking back at the last week of crazy shit that Republicans have said. It is sad that we are at this state, but it is also fucking comedy gold that we're at this state.
What the hell are the Republicans doing? Kevin McCarthy abandoned you, Ken Buck abandoned you, and Mike Gallagher just announced on Friday that he's going to resign.
The majority is down to just one. Seems like Republicans are in complete disarray.
Feels like these guys are basically walking out and giving you all the finger.
Future Speaker Hakeem Jeffries sent you a nice fruit basket today.
I filed the motion to vacate today. The clock has started. It's time for our conference to choose a new speaker.
What person that can pass a competency test would want to be the Speaker of the House?
The Freedom Caucus right now has been
He's
a disaster.
not wrong.
I feel we are seeing yet another tantrum by a tiny faction.
God help us. The House Republican majority is a dysfunctional embarrassment.
It's like trying to herd cats.
You think your job in life is to grandstand and complain while the other team runs over you?
This is why conservatives call the GOP the stupid party, by the way.
Oh, it's insane. It actually is pretty fucking insane right now. Dude, when Fox News is torching you like that, man, Fox News, okay, so we were just talking about, what you just said, Aldi, about Sam Harris is spot on, right? this is why we have people that are scholars and experts, right? Is because once you kind of get people off into like these other areas, you start to kind of go like, you know, hey, you're really intelligent about this one thing, but this thing, maybe not so much, you know? Like, actually, like, you know, you're really intelligent and really well read on this one subject, but hey, you're kind of an asshole on this one. You know? And let me tell you this, Fox News, they are experts on stupid. All right? So if Fox News is telling you that you're a moron and you're fucking up, it's probably true. Because, you know, it takes one to know one. They know shit well. What's happening, Golf? What's happening, buddy? What's happening, Great Pill? Holy shit. And look, I don't act like I'm an expert on a lot of things. I come up here to make jokes. I come up here to point out ridiculousness. I come up here to have fun and remind you guys that regardless of how crazy shit gets out there, the main reason that you should be still doing the things you're doing is because life is about being happy, about making the people that you love happy. That's my lane. I mean, every once in a while you guys are going to look at me and you're gonna like, that's the dumbest shit a human being has ever said. And I'm going to be like, probably. Probably. Because I'm not a scholar. I'm not an expert. What I'm an expert on is life experience. Growing the fuck up, becoming a better person, using the things that you did wrong to do better. Those are the things I'm good at, you know, and getting a laugh out of people. That's what I'm all about. And learning. I do believe I'm very good at learning. I feel like I have grown to be a better person over the past 30, 40 years. Oh, what's happening, Golf? You got the flu? I'm feeling sick too, buddy. Christ. Is it going around right now? People are getting sick, aren't they? God damn it, man. All right. Gingers are stealing our souls. Back to 50%. Boats aren't real was winning. But Gingers are stealing our souls is back to 50%. I do want to watch this one, but let's talk about conspiracy theory for a minute. Because this is one thing I want to talk about with conspiracy theorists that drives me nuts. Conspiracy theorists keep saying this over and over and over again, and that's, we get a lot more right than we do wrong. And that is complete fucking bullshit, okay? I'm sorry, but conspiracy theorists get like 3 things right out of like 100, and they think that's a win. And they don't even get 3 things right. They get a portion of 3 things right. And then they're like, boom, gotcha, bitch. And it's like, no, you don't. That's not how science works. That's not how evidence works. When the preponderance of evidence is on one side, that's the side that's right, okay? Because you have like 6% of the evidence and they have 94% of the evidence, that doesn't make you right. That's not how anything works. Yeah, I'll try to stay away from you guys. Oh, you got the flu too? Aldi! Holy Christ, we're all, uh-oh. It's conspiracy time, boys. Yeah. It's conspiracy time. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, they're like, the Illuminati's in charge of the world. And then they find out like 4 dudes were in charge of a business that we didn't know about. And they're like, boom, got it. You're like, that. Come on, man. But anyways, if you scroll through just the list of conspiracy theories on Wikipedia, this is not the dynamic list, guys, okay? This is a dynamic list and may never be able to satisfy particular standards for completeness. You can help adding missing items with reliable sources, okay? This is just some of them, all right? You got everything from black helicopters to chemtrails to that MH370 flight, which is crazy, okay? All right, it is crazy. The new Coke, we have a theory claims that the Coca-Cola company intentionally changed to an inferior formula with new Coke, with the intent either of driving up demand for the original product or permitting the reintroduction of the original with a new formula using cheaper ingredients. That's what I'm saying, guys. Like, we make up fucking conspiracies about the dumbest shit, dude. And obviously the JFK, which we all want to know. We would like to see that information released, okay? Obviously, look at all these people. All these people, including everybody from Kurt Cobain, Tupac, to Mozart, Why is it's all like music people? To Abraham Lincoln. It's just about music. Like, guys, yeah, you're going to be right every once in a while when you canvas like this hard. When you throw out this many fucking ideas about shit, eventually you're going to be right about something. This is what I dislike about the conspiracy theorists. They gish gallop, you know? They're like, did you know that this is connected to this, that's connected to this, that this, if you look at this, when this happened, and this person, they knew this person, that knew that person, and that is connected to this, which actually, if you look back in time, in 1930, this guy said this. It's like, yeah, if you do enough of that shit, dude, eventually you're gonna get something right. What up, fatty? Oh, shit. Boats aren't real. Boats aren't real. Yeah, we got to 289 last time. We hit 400 a couple shows ago. We're averaging about 40,000 views nowadays. The more I talk, the less people watch. Look, at the end of the day, guys, we're going to get some. We're going to lose some. We're building a community. Shit could take 5 years. I don't know if we got 5 years left, but we're building a community over the next 5 years is what I'm going for. We got big numbers for Naughty Nana Does, hitting 10K followers, Naughty Nana Does. We got big numbers for Adam Mockler, hitting 130K, probably more than that now. All right? So my people, the people I love, I see them doing well, and that shit makes me happy. And I'm getting a little bit of it. You know? So I appreciate those guys that are coming through here, wandering through, hitting that like and subscribe button, hanging out with us, making fun of fucking some Trump supporters and people with some terrible ass ideas. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And of course, all my OGs, my Uncle Fatties, my Gulf Marines, my Gray Pills, and all my newbies, my Mikes, my Brads, you know, my Wokes. Fucking love you guys. I appreciate you guys. But there's everything. Anti-religion, pro-religion. You know, there's racist theories. There's the new replacement theory, the white genocide conspiracy theory. The Larrys? Larrys are a group of shipping conspiracy theorist fans centered around the idea that two members of the boy band One Direction, Harry Styles and Louis Tomlinson, are a secret couple. God damn, guys! The Illuminati, the false flag operations, the 9/11, all of this stuff, the Clintons. The Epstein one, once again, there's a couple on here that I'm really willing to, like, I'm okay. Like, this is what I'm saying. You guys put out like 500 fucking conspiracy theories. I'm going to give you like 3. I'm going to be like, yeah, probably that one, and that one. For sure, you know. The FEMA camps. Barack Obama. What the fuck? Like, you guys keep saying you're not racist. And then you motherfuckers do nothing but make up conspiracy theories about a black dude. Like, you guys got to recognize, even if you ain't racist, how that shit looks racist. All right? Cultural Marxism, the deep state. Dude, it's just insane. Michelle Obama, that's the craziest fucking one. The Michelle Obama ones you guys are assholes for that, all right? Anyways, because I don't want to get a fucking strike from YouTube, I'm not in any way purporting this bullshit. I'm calling it out for being absolutely ridiculous that this is where we're at. So anyway, here, let's start with, speaking of Adam Mockler. This is Adam Mockler, who's doing a great fucking job talking to people. And this is him talking to, I believe this guy's a former Trump supporter. And he's a history teacher.
Where do you think we begin to heal this problem where large amounts of the Republican Party think the election was stolen, think everything is rigged against Trump? They're basically so disillusioned to a point where it's delusion.
Yeah. It's going to take him, I think, for Trump just to literally disappear.
It's not every day that you hear a Republican voter openly say this about the party's dictator.
It's a bad thing to say, but yeah, he's just got to disappear. And then they just got to say, okay, we need to come together, because as a whole, this country is...
You know that they just created a conspiracy theory right now. He said he needs to disappear. There are people angrily typing on their keyboard right now. Fucking, they are trying to get rid of Donald Trump. They're all on Twitter right now, just fucking flying, just anger typing with one finger, because that's how those people type.
The Biden. And it's going to take some time, unfortunately, to heal.
So if the lineup ends up being Donald Trump versus Joe Biden in 2024, who do you choose?
Biden.
Really?
Yes. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I think the Republicans need to take a good hard look at Trump. A lot of them don't believe this stuff, but I think he did do some wrong things.
It really says a lot
Good
about
job,
the sad
buddy.
state of our country if we're this surprised to see a Republican voter criticize the party's full-on embrace of Trump and his policies. But this man is, according to Adam Mockler, a high school history teacher. So if that's the case, he hopefully saw the writing on the wall and history repeating itself in real time.
And I know a lot of teachers. I don't know any who want guns. I know a lot who just want like markers and
Comedian and high school English teacher Liz Blank is seeing the effects of Republican policy decisions in real time herself.
If I get a school-issued Glock, well, I'm still buying my own Post-its. I'm taking that gun. I'm holding up a Staples.
Oh shit, what did they say this lady's name is? Somebody put her name. I mean, I guess I could just go back. I'll figure it out. Dude, she's fucking hilarious. That is too funny. Oh man.
And I'm getting what I need to do my job.
Good job.
While hilarious in this context, this is the cruel reality far too many of our public school teachers face nationwide. And yes, the Dems share responsibility for letting short-term profits take precedent
100%.
over creating a
100%.
robust public education system. But Republicans have made the...
And that's a great point on his part. When calling out some of these issues, people on both sides need to recognize that they've played a part in this. You know, I've said multiple times that, you know, when people attempt to hold me accountable for things that Joe Biden has done because I'm going to vote for Joe Biden or because, the Democrats did something, I think that it's important to acknowledge those things and say to yourself, like, 100%, we all have to recognize the flaws in our own mentality and the mistakes that we've made in our life to continue to grow and do better. And as I started this show saying that what we saw during the Cold War and the government that we had during the Cold War, that was a completely different government. I know conspiracy theorists are like fucking their heads exploding right now, but it's a completely different government than hopefully the one that we have today, because hopefully we have learned from those mistakes. I've even pointed out that because of conspiracy theorists, probably you're seeing a lot more transparency from the government than that you might have seen if just everybody trusted them. So, like, you got to take the good and the bad, right? Like, you got to say to yourself, some of the shit that has happened, we could do better too. Not me, because my ass votes for teachers to get their fucking school supplies. I don't have a problem with raising taxes so that way school teachers can actually do their job correctly. I look at our educational system and I'm like, y'all motherfuckers need another 3 to 4 years of school.
The erosion of public education,
What's
one
up,
of the
Lori?
primary policy goals for decades now, leading more and more teachers to feel like this.
Teachers make thousands
I
of little
said
micro
that,
decisions
that
every
one
day.
girl.
So that's why, like, the decision fatigue is real after school. When you're trying to figure out what to eat for dinner, man, I don't even care. Put the pizza in the oven. It was in the freezer. Mama, can we go to McDonald's? Yes, because I don't want to have to make another decision. I'm happy you suggested McDonald's because I was going to drive straight to the house.
Right, and that's something that's like completely misunderstood about our culture too, because we complain about obesity in America. We complain about like our dietary or nutritional standards, right, in America. And then we don't at all look at the fact that you have two parents working 40 hours a week, taking kids to soccer games and martial arts, and they're tired, man. And you wonder why kids aren't getting the nutrition. And you know, well, parents should just be better. They should be cooking at home. You want to talk about the economy and why shit costs so much. It's like because a lot of the time we're doing these things and we're voting against our own, ability to spend more time with our children. We're voting against our own ability to provide good nutrition, because the older generation has this idea that you just have to work as hard as you possibly can, because it's very important that America stays at number one. If it falls to number two, you guys are a bunch of goddamn failures. And that's fucking insanity. You're voting against your own interests. I keep saying this over and over again. People put all the blame on government, but a lot of this shit that we do is us. It's us, man. We're out here fucking standing for the government. You know, we're out here like saying shit like, Well, you do. People should have to work 50 hours a week. That's how you get shit done. My generation was tough. These kids can't even drive a stick shift. Oh, that shit matters, man. Like, you should be all for spending more time with your kids. You should be all for spending more time with your grandkids. We've had these great advancements in technology, and none of us want to take advantage of it because we're all too scared that the older generation is going to call us a bitch. I mean, am I wrong? Somebody tell me if I'm wrong. Yeah, that one girl, you know, we're going to watch a Legion Miller video. I have mixed feelings since watching Legion Miller's video about term limits. But when it comes to age limits, I'm actually on board with age limits. Now, mind you, they're talking about over the next decade to 20 years, we're talking about extended lives that, like, my kids could live to be like 150 or longer with how fast AI's moving forward exponentially. So obviously those things should change. That's another thing we need to look into. Look, I love the Constitution. I think the Constitution is fucking a great basis for the country. But it's time to look at a lot of the shit in the Constitution that may be a little too old. It's time to look at a lot of legislation. Whether they want to use the fucking Comstock Act in the fucking in that Supreme Court case right now. That's ridiculous. Look, I'm all for using precedent. I'm all for setting things up as a foundation and then using them moving forward. But we have this really fucking weird idea in our heads that because something worked 200 years ago that we should still be applying that to today. I mean, when you look at the Second Amendment, that's the same shit. I'm pro-Second Amendment, but I'm not stupid enough to stand up here and fucking tell you guys that I think the Second Amendment that was written in the Constitution applies to what's going on nowadays. That's fucking crazy. And even if it goes against what I believe, I'm still going to admit that it's fucking crazy. Like, it really is. I think that that one of our biggest problems is we as human beings lag behind advancements in technology and society, and we don't spend enough time thinking about these things because government's a really, really slow process. It's like everything in government works so slow and intentionally slow because we saw with the boat shit. Like, if you jump on shit and you react too quickly, you fuck shit up. You get things wrong. So the question is how do we do that? MAGA is a cult. We all know that. You have a question? As a non-American, I do not understand how do people afford fast food? It is way more expensive than home cooking. So 42, it's not about affording fast food because right now fast food, specifically in places like California, is actually becoming more expensive, right? Have you guys ever watched Demolition Man with Wesley Snipes and Sylvester Stallone where Taco Bell became a high-end restaurant? My conspiracy theory is that that's what's fucking happening right now. Because, like, the higher the wages go up, the more the food costs, the less that, like, you know, your average poor person, they're actually being forced now to, like, actually eat healthier now. I think that when it comes to fast food, for a while there, it was much cheaper. Because when you had, like, dollar menu shit and stuff like that, you can still go to Taco Bell and get, like, 3 tacos for $5, right? So there are places, if you're smart enough, you can still get it cheaper than eating at home. But at the end of the day, it's not that these people want to buy it. It's an addiction problem. You know, when it comes to comfort foods like that, it is an addiction problem, but it's also a convenience problem. Families as a whole are put in this really bad situation where you have to have both parents working 40 plus hours a week to survive, if not more. Like, this is my side hustle, right? Like, I work 12 hours a day. I work 8 hours at my job, and then I come home working 4 to 6 hours more on YouTube because this is my side hustle. So if you guys would like to join the Angry Ginger Army for only $3 a month, 10 cents a day, you guys can do that. You can also super chat to support me or buy a sweet-ass new shirt that I just made, or my wife made, that says, "I'm not going to engage with you until you read a book," okay? That was a suggestion from a subscriber. I said that shit and they said they want a shirt, so we put it on a shirt. But if you hear what I'm saying, it's like, it's not so much that people can afford it, it's that the convenience of it. And that's why you have so many people living paycheck to paycheck. And that's not just poor people, that's middle class people and even like upper middle class. You know, obviously, once you get into, like, you know, the uber wealthy, we're talking about the top 1% or top 5%. Those people obviously can afford all the fast food that you could want. Crazy thing is, people on the right don't realize that we too have guns. Oh, yeah, dude, I live in California. Every liberal I know has fucking tons of guns. That's a complete misconception. You think it applies even more now? Why do you think? Because, okay, Trent, so I'm gonna steel man you here. I'm going to say that you think that the Second Amendment applies more now because you feel that the government is less trustworthy. Is that spot on, or am I off on that one, Trent? You give me that. Fast food is like a drug. You pay with money, then you pay with your health. Exactly, Golf. Yeah, and just like drugs, highly addictive. The Bible is a book. Yeah, no, I don't have a problem. If you read the Bible, that's fine. You got to read something. My problem in society right now is everybody works off memes and clips. Memes and clips. Now, that one, girl, I'm going to say this. When we say the world is getting crazy, because we're talking about conspiracy theories today, okay? There's a new conspiracy theory. It's called, like, the dead internet conspiracy. Y'all should look that shit up. It's the idea that nobody is on the internet anymore commenting and stuff. It's all just robots. And, like, that shit was hilarious to me. Not because I believe that that's true, but because I actually think that in some way it's hitting on a topic that is real. And that's, while we're on the internet, we have a view of society and what's going on in the world. And then when we go out into the world, it's a much different thing. Like, when I talk to Trump supporters in real life, they don't say any of the shit that they say online, right? Like, no one's walking up to me and going, idiot. I mean, some of them do go Trump 2024. You know, we have real conversations, right? And I'm like this in real life. I'm just me. I don't play a character on YouTube. I don't have a WWE persona. I'm just me. I say the shit that I believe. If people want to follow me, then great. People want to join my army, come on in. Like, I love you guys, you know, for who you are, and I hope that you guys are just like me and you're real too when you're on the internet. But it is kind of something that everybody needs to recognize, is that when you go out into society, you notice that no one's talking about red pill shit. No one's fucking, you know, talking about Joe Biden being a skin suit. It's a bunch of crazy ass people that found the internet to be their best access point to a reality that much better facilitates the type of lifestyle that they want to have. You know, and for some of us, you know, it's just like anything, you know, it's like alcohol. Like, you know, some people can drink and moderate and they can do well, and then other people obviously become addicted and ruin their entire life, right? So I think that like what I'm trying to provide here for you guys is this place that you can come to that isn't a trap house. Like, you can come here and experience a little bit of back and forth with a little bit of trash talk, but also a little bit of civility. You know, I want to change the internet for the better. The response bio was to the shirt that you're selling. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, but I don't, you know, I just want people to read more. Like, I read a lot of books, you know, like talking about conspiracy theories. This right here, this book right here, I don't know if y'all can see that. Can you see that? This book right here, you know, is a great science fiction book, right? Orson Scott Card, kind of a trippy dude. I don't know that I'm with everything that he believes, but the book itself, absolutely amazing. Ender's Game, awesome book. I don't want to spoil it for you, but, you know, the twist in the end could be very much applied to a lot of our interactions on the internet, you know? Like, what's the real impact from these interactions, and then where does it go from there? Is it the Ender's Game thing that you think you're on here, you're just having a good time, you're just fucking around, and really there's this, like, really actual bad thing that's happening because of it? Or is it just a bunch of people getting on, like, the forums of old and talking, you know? Like, that's the real question, and I think that, like, even, like, people that in my generation grew up reading that book, you know, they start to apply that mentality to everything that's going on, that, like, you think you're doing one thing, but the government's got you doing another, you know? Like, I think that we've inundated ourselves with, like, fantasies, and real life just doesn't live up to it. It just does not reach the pinnacle of what we grew up with in our fantasy and sci-fi literature, and I think that people are bored, to be honest with you. You bet each one. Oh, dude, if I go to a hotel and it has a Trump Bible dash. Oh, shit. Thank you, that one, girl. I appreciate that. Look, like I said, man, I just want to be real. I just want to talk to you guys. I don't want to, like, I was thinking about this on the way to work the other day. I hate the way that money influences everything. You know, I understand the system, and I understand why it's necessary. And that's kind of me, right? A middle ground person, fence sitter. But I hate this idea that I could become so financially enamored with what I'm doing that one day I could sit up here with you guys and not be real and not be honest and not say the things that I think or believe because my mortgage, or my kids are depending on me, like saying the shit that people want to hear. I hate that so much. And I see this like happening to conspiracy theorists. They're like the mainstream. The Daily Wire, if I'm correct, the Daily Wire gets more hits in a day than MSNBC does. Like when you talk about like what used to be mainstream, the financial incentives to be a dissenter nowadays is actually more lucrative. Like people have moved away from mainstream media, which I'm not saying is a bad thing, but I think that they don't understand that they're no longer this group of people that doesn't believe or that believes something that a lot of other people don't. The internet has been a tool for the addiction of the conspiracy minded, and it has really brought together a conglomeration of people that can financially benefit from their fear. And that's one of the things that I hate about conspiracy theory is the fear element. I'm a constant optimist. I know shit can be bad. I know shit, can go wrong. But I always, I've been a leader for a long time, and I always say, plan it, don't panic. Like no shit's going to happen and plan for it. But don't let your life get to a point where you're so negative and so upset and afraid that you become unmotivated with doing the things that are going to make you successful and happy. You got to plan for it. You can't panic. Actually, my friend's dad passed away not too long ago, and he's been a leader his whole life. He's a head salesman for this huge company. And I remember sitting in his kitchen and leaning against the counter, and I remember looking at his refrigerator, and he had a magnet on it. And on that magnet, it said, being a leader is about knowing that shit is bad, but not panicking. Okay? And that's like not showing it was the gist of it. And that's the idea, right? Like as a father, as a mother, as a manager, as a leader, it's our responsibilities to make sure that everybody around us feels like they have a strong foundation to work off of, so that way they can rise up to our level. And that's why I dislike Donald Trump. That's why I liked Obama. That's why I like Joe Biden. Look, dude's old, but he gives us a firm foundation to work off of, to work towards our success. And that's what's important to me. As I said before, it all goes off legislation. When people are like, but look at him. Look at what he said. No, I don't want to see a 10-second clip of Joe Biden stuttering. I want to see wall-to-wall legislation that I can read with my own two eyes to make the best decision. And when I do that, I find a firm foundation for me to work off of and grow to be more successful. The idea that we're coming out of a global pandemic and potentially could have went into a recession, which we did not. We landed pretty softly, and I'm not saying that the potential still doesn't exist. But you look at that and you say to yourself, that's strong leadership. That has given me a firm foundation to work off of towards more success. And as a person that grew up in the trailer park, as a person that grew up shitting in a bucket, with no running water, with no electricity, no heat, no air conditioning in Bakersfield, okay? No air conditioning in Bakersfield. That's a rough life. I know the benefits of finding a firm foundation and what it can do for you and success. I also know the benefits of finding people that are actually good leaders and not people that want to make you afraid and to make you want to hate, right? Like I grew up with skinheads. I grew up with gangs. I can tell you this. I avoided being in gangs my whole younger life, and I keep getting this mentality from people that they want me to join their gang later in life. I don't want to. I want to sit on here and I want to be real. I want to tell you guys the things I think, and I know that I'm going to be wrong sometimes, and I'm going to have to get educated and be better. But the last thing I want to fucking do is put myself in somebody's gang and tell all of you the things that they believe instead of the shit that I believe. So sometimes I'm going to say things that are very progressive. Sometimes I'm going to say things that are very socialist. Sometimes I'm going to say things that apply to classic liberalism. Sometimes I'm going to say things that are conservative. I believe that there are times for the death penalty, specifically when it comes to harming children. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube. But that's a conservative point of view, right? The space race. I'm huge on the space race. I wanted to be an astronaut when I was a kid. I wanted to be a pilot, and if I wasn't such a bad child, I would have been able to. My ass got kicked out of the Air Force ROTC. I was just a bad kid. I wanted to be an astronaut. Like, space to me is like, it's hope, it's optimism. But I understand on the left, it's also like the idea of taking care of people. Like, why aren't we using that money here? I get both sides. But the fact that I lean more towards NASA and space exploration puts me a little bit on the right on those areas. And I don't want to ever get up here and feel like I can't talk to you guys about those things because I have to be worried about, whether or not I'll lose money. Fuck that shit. That's crazy. This is about being real. Only the weakest people look to authoritarians for leadership. Yep, those are called lemmings. Yeah, I don't like negatives and discouragement to control. Yeah. Yeah, Stockton, California, that one girl. Hell yeah. Stockton. Nate Diaz and Nick Diaz. That's a tough-ass place right there. Yeah, Trump said if you drop a magnet in water, it quits working. That's what I'm talking about. Look, Trump ain't smart. You guys can, the Trump supporters, y'all can defend whatever else you guys want to defend. I don't give a fuck, but the dude ain't smart. He ain't intelligent. Oh, shit. 209! Dude, I rep California hard. There's a difference between being a gang and being in a cult, and honestly, no one, as far as leftists, unaliving peers is as important to us as it. Yeah, 100%, Kunai. I'm not denying any of that, Kunai. We don't disagree on any of that stuff. What up, woke? You live with a Trumpster and he finally learned to just shut the fuck up about the crazy crap on Rogan and other crazy videos. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Stockton is miserable in the summertime, but I came from Bakersfield, so I don't know which one's worse, Bakersfield or Stockton. I think Bakersfield actually might be worse than Stockton. All right, let's continue the video and see if you guys listen to me rant about shit.
I forgot about the food because I don't want to have to make another decision. I drove home on autopilot because I hear the screams of y'all's child's voices in the silence of my car because they just scream and holler at each other all day long.
9 years ago, I posted a story on my Facebook that said Florida governor proposes $50,000 a year state minimum wage for teachers.
Thank you,
and
woke.
there was
I feel
hundreds
validated.
of comments. About time. Yay, $50,000.
In 2013, 50,000.
Hold on. Hey, that one girl, you know that Bakersfield, though, has the highest rate per capita of police killing people? My nephew through marriage was shot 16 times or something like that by a police officer. Yeah, Bakersfield has like the deadliest police force in America, I believe, per capita. And just this is one of the things that I want to get through to Trump supporters, because I'll say something like that and they'll go, he's anti-police, thin blue line, brother, all that shit. My uncle was a fucking captain in the CHP. My aunt was not a captain. I think she was a lieutenant in the CHP. I support good cops, okay? That's the fucking problem with today's society, is people are like, oh, he's this or he's that, not realizing that some fucking people actually use their brains and recognize that some people are bad, some people are good. Some cops are fucking dipshits, and some cops are fucking heroes. So just so you know, just before some Trump supporter comes on here and starts talking about thin blue line, motherfucker, like, first of all, you drink and drive every fucking day. Literally saw that shit. A dude got out of a car with a thin blue line sticker on his window. He had a flat tire. He got out, and I shit you not, he had half a 40 in his hand. Most ironic shit I've seen in a while. Oh, fuck. Bye, Boo. Boo, don't come in here with dumb shit. Look, I don't ban people for a lot of dumb shit. Like, I let you guys say all kinds of stupid shit. But if you're as dumb as fucking Boo, you gotta go. Oh, shit. Yeah, double speak. Thank you, Kunai. Thank you. 1984. It's a good book. People should read it. Trump should definitely not be above the law. No one should be. McCarthy's district is Kern County. Kern County is Bakersfield is McCarthy's district. I don't. Stockton's not. No, Stockton's too far north. 602 area code, Phoenix. Oh, okay. Woo, it's warm in Phoenix. Why do people in Stockton, Bakersfield move to Phoenix? I heard once that it got to 125 in Phoenix. I think that's off the ground, off the cement or whatever, the asphalt. When I was in Bakersfield, the hottest it got in Bakersfield was 114. Pretty accurate? Yeah. So I don't. We'll get back to the Second Amendment stuff in a little bit, but I hear what you're saying, and I have a bit of a rebuttal to that. But let's not get off topic because you know how my ADD ass brain works. Kern County is the first circle of hell. Oh yeah. Exactly, Conscious. Exactly. It's crazy to me to see the people that have thin blue line because I grew up with a lot of these people in the trailer park, right? I'm like, bro, I know you beat your wife. Bro, I know you have warrants. You got more felonies than you got teeth. And you got a thin blue line sticker on your fucking car. Now, somebody did one time tell me, and this is probably the best fucking, like, white trash conspiracy theory I ever heard in my life, that the reason they have a thin blue line sticker on their car is so the cops don't pull them over. I was like, I wonder if that shit's true. I wonder if everybody with a thin blue line sticker is actually a fuck ton smarter than me. And they're like, yeah, your dumbass gets pulled over because you don't have one. Like, I'm over here going, I don't need a fucking bumper sticker. My family's in the fucking police force. Like, I don't need a fucking bumper sticker saying I support the military. My whole family's military. Like I don't like these people complain about virtue signaling and then fucking slap a thin blue line bumper sticker on their car. First of all, that devalues your car, just so you know. But I'm like, these guys are fucking virtue signaling idiots for doing that shit. And then I'm over here getting pulled over. Not that I've been pulled over. I'm white. And y'all know that shit's true, okay? But are they the smarter people? Do they slap that shit on their car and then they don't get pulled over? Am I the fucking idiot? I don't know. Yeah, so the cops leave him alone. Woke. Is that what's fucking happening? Thin blue line act like the rainbow pride flag is satanic. Yeah. Jackass Nation is a new subculture of belligerence. I can't read that because the heart's in the way. As new passionate patriotism. First Amendment protects the angry and the ignorant. Yeah, so. It's unfortunate. Here's the thing, man, is I really think that people like don't understand how much they're their own worst enemy and how much they blame government for stuff. But a lot of this shit that happens is because of their own actions. When we talk about the First Amendment, like if people use the First Amendment correctly and don't act like a bunch of fucking small, adolescent, immature children that don't know any better, we get to use the First Amendment in an amazing and great way to continue to fight for the freedoms of every person in America. But when you start triggering each other and doing shit because you think it's funny or because you think that you're owning the libs or whatever the fuck, you're literally fighting against your own interests. Because then when fucking you have civil unrest, then the government does come in. You're giving them all the reasons. Like I keep saying this about conspiracy theorists. You guys talk about shit, and then you're like, look, it happened. Do you know why it fucking happened? Because you gave them the idea. They're putting microchips in the vaccines. 10 years later, there's microchips in the vaccines. You know why? Because your ass gave them the idea to do it. Oh, fuck. Oh, Christ.
$1,000 is roughly equivalent to a $66,000 salary today. Not great, considering where we are as a country. And yet, this is one of the most important job sectors in this country. But once again, these types of people see no value in education unless it's their specific flavor.
Are you uncomfortable by what you're seeing with Christian nationalism being brought into this? that's one of the reasons I'm a strong Trump supporter. I feel like this country is founded on the basis of religion, free speech, and it's on.
And fucking correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the exact opposite. Fucking Americans were trying to get away from persecution based on religion. Like, this is something I think that people don't understand about the Founding Fathers. And once again, I'm going to fucking show this to you guys so you guys can't just sit here and say I don't fucking know. This is Washington. This is a big fucking book. It's well fucking read, okay? I know a little something about the Founding Fathers. They weren't all Christians. They had a lot of different ideas and mentalities. Benjamin Franklin was a fucking ladies' man, just so you guys know that, okay? So over in France, during a portion of this, fighting for your rights over here in America and getting fucking help for Americans to get through the revolution, and guess how he was doing it? By wooing the ladies, the French ladies, okay? And guess what? It wasn't religious. A lot of people nowadays that are in politics aren't religious, but they have to claim they are, so you fucks will vote for them. Like, that's fucking insanity. You should be able to say that the history of America was what the history of America was. Understand that some of it was embarrassing. Understand that some of it you didn't agree with. But that was the history. Don't, like, these people claim that we're diversifying history, and then they whitewash history by saying that we were a Christian nationalist fucking country to begin with. We weren't! Oh my God. I think I'm right about that. Yeah, George Washington, there were no political parties. There wasn't politics. George Washington was just George Washington. All right, anyways, because I've completely ranted for so long that I've lost the plot. We're now going to watch Shane Gillis. Shane Gillis is Donald Trump acting as Hitler. And I am intentionally showing you this video because I heard people on the left trying to fucking shit on Shane Gillis. And I'm telling you guys, stop trying to kill off all the comedians on our side. God damn it. This is Shane Gillis. I showed you guys the one where he did the Trump speed dating, and now I'm showing you the one, and God damn it, Shane Gillis, don't fuck me over here, bud. I haven't watched the entirety of this video. I might be fucking myself over here. All right, here we go, guys. Hope you guys are ready for this.
I'm Hitler. They didn't have anyone to play Hitler, so they called me. The studio called me. They said, Donald, could you please get us out of this?
He sent me 27 voicemails.
Hello, Lauren. This is Donald Trump, and I can be Hitler here. Watch. Bad Jews. Not good. Lauren, it's Donald again. If I need to be naked in this, which Hitler was, he was naked quite a bit. I do have a guy as a replacement. He has a big penis.
He took a perfectly good script, and he improv the whole thing.
Look at the size of this crowd. We've got a lot of Jews here.
I don't think he ever read the script.
That guy right there, he's a Jew. No, I'm kidding. Don't get him. We could do something about the Jews. I might not, but we could. We've got big trains, beautiful trains. We can get them on there. But I'm not going to kill the Jews. I want to work with them. Is that so bad? I didn't like all the Jew stuff in the script. If I was to put anyone on a train, it would be Crooked Hillary.
I wanted Hitler's failure as an artist to be part of his evil origin story. But then, you know, when I brought that to Trump, he said,
Art is gay. Art is gay. Adolf Hitler was gay for doing art. I don't do art, I make money.
We didn't realize how toxic it would be for the rest of the cast.
It was the worst set I've ever been on, ever.
We're gonna round up the Jews, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna ask them for some advice. We're gonna say, please help. We need your help with our economy. Right now our economy's low. We need it big. We need big economy. We need more Jews.
No. Totally unprofessional. It was a struggle to get through anything.
No. We're doing a Holocaust.
We're gonna kill Jews and Poles.
Okay, cut.
8 months I trained for this role. Method acting as a Nazi. My wife traumatized in the bedroom. Do you have any idea the things that I've looked up on the internet? The things that I've said. I can no longer go into Einstein Brothers Bagels.
He got rid of Eva Braun.
And Hitler's girlfriend, I don't know if you've seen her, if you've seen pictures. Not good. She was a bit of a dog. Let me tell you something. I've got a new Eva Braun, and she's hot. Bring her out. Eva, come on.
I had just got done eating a waitress's pussy at Buffalo Wild Wings, and I said, wow, you should be Ava Braun. Look at her. Look at her. Am I right, people? I met her at my restaurant, Hitler's. I just opened it. You guys should stop by.
He started a fake restaurant in a movie. And then made a commercial for it.
Wow, Hitler's. What a fine restaurant. We've got chicken wings and whores. What else is there? Don't attack Jews. Instead, drink brews. That's what we say. Isn't that funny? This was my shining moment. I need the Holocaust.
They said
You said you like the Holocaust. Not that I would need it to have happened. You seem to be very eager for Holocaust, crybaby Goebbels. I'm not a crybaby. I'm not a crybaby. Joe, crybaby Goebbels is a huge pussy. All he wants to do is a Holocaust. Could we get rid of this guy? I've got a couple people's numbers we could call The Rock.
Holy shit, this is killing me.
Got fired. He wanted the movie to be, he never kills himself, he's good, and eventually he helps the U.S. defeat Japan. I said, fine.
The United States called. They said, we like what you're doing here. They said, can you help us end this war with Japan? So I called Japan. I said, Hirohito. I said, you better slow down. He told me, we'll never surrender. That's how you know how they, we'll never surrender. I said, I bet you do. That's what I said. Sure enough, the next day, I bombed the shit out of him. We literally harnessed the sun and threw it at them. Amita's in Japan. You hit them with the sun, and let me tell you, they didn't like it. They were running around. Maybe now they'll get their act together. Maybe they'll stop using swords and start building VCRs.
What? 2 a.m. I think Hitler should eventually become president of U.S. because Truman begged him. You know he would. Truman was pussy. LOL.
My work here in Germany is done. I am taking the position of President Hitler of the United States.
I am dying right now.
Thank you, and good night, Nazi Germany.
It was devastating. It was hard. As an artist, you write a movie, you think it's gonna be impactful.
Stop looking at the camera.
And he just took it and made a movie that made so much money.
I was the best president. I was the best Hitler. We've got great wings, some of the best wings, medium, mild, hot, genocide. We've got sluts everywhere.
Jesus Christ.
I'm the best president Hitler.
Oh my God, that was better than
he's really
expected.
lost his fastball.
Oh fuck, and then Charlie Kirk comes on. I don't know if I can keep laughing. I think I might hurt myself if I keep laughing, Charlie Kirk. Holy shit. That was quite possibly the most amazing thing I've seen in probably the last, 2 years. Holy shit. He is so fucking spot on with Donald Trump. Shane Gillis, I don't know how much Donald Trump Shane Gillis watches, but good God, that is the most spot on thing that I have ever seen. I just want you guys to know, because as we do these things, this is the Comic Comedy Club, guys. This is their video. This is not like somebody else sharing it. It looks like it's their video. So please do go to subscribe to Comic Comedy Club. I think this may be, because some of those guys looks like the guys from Gillian Keeves. So maybe they redid it. Maybe they changed their name. It's probably a comedy troupe, I'm guessing. Fuck, I want to get involved. Somebody get me a hold of Comic Comedy Club. I want to be a part. I want to be friends. I have more subscribers, so I might have an in. That was fucking hilarious, dude. Oh my God, please do go and subscribe and like this video. This needs to be everywhere. How many views does this have? 33K? 33K? That's it? Come on, guys. We got to do something about this. If you're watching this, please subscribe. If you're watching this, please like this video. And if you're watching this, please go like that video and share that video. That is fucking amazing. Oh, God. The world needs more laughter, guys. The world needs more laughter. I mean, if Charlie Kirk's going to follow this, I can't do that. That's too much laughter. Charlie Kirk is a moron. Watch it again? I can't watch it again, Pog. If you want to watch it, you got to go watch it on your own. I can't watch it again. If I watch it again, I'm going to have a heart attack. Okay? If I watch that back to back, There should be like an FDA warning on that video. Do not watch this back to back, because if you do, you will die from laughter. That should be the warning. Instead, we're going to watch insane conspiracy theories dumb people actually believe. God. Oh, I'm killing myself today. Oh, wait. YouTube, don't ban me. I meant that in a joking way. Christ. I live on an edge. I live on a slippery slope of being banned by YouTube. Okay, guys? You want to talk about fear? Try being a content creator.
What's up, guys? Today, I thought we'd do more of a laid-back video and just look at some funny conspiracy theories that some people actually believe. The age of information is making these conspiracy theories wackier and wackier. So let's just thank our lucky stars we're not as dumb as the people that believe in these, and let's see what we got. Number 1. Now, there are obviously a lot of pretty crazy COVID conspiracy theories out there, but the wackiest one I've seen so far was my mom on Facebook. She was watching this video about this guy that said that the nanobots in the vaccine, because of course there are nanobots in the vaccine, will go throughout your body and replace your brain with like this robot brain that will make you do the bidding of the New World Order. Pretty wacky stuff. And that video was doing well, guys. It had like 1 million views. Kind of spooky. Facebook.
Pointing this out. The video we just watched, which was an absolute fucking masterpiece, okay? 33K views, okay? Nanobots climbing into your brain to replace it with robot brain that then later can be controlled, okay? 1 million views. This is what's wrong with our society! I'm gonna run for some type of office on the idea that the internet should no longer be used for information. It should only be used for laughter. And that is it! You guys have lost your ability to use the information on the internets, and it can only be for funny stuff. Christ.
Not very good at getting rid of all the fake accounts, but very good at convincing my mom that she's now magnetic. Number 2. You thought that one was crazy? Wait till you hear this. The pharmaceutical industry has a profit incentive to medicalize normal human behavior, and they often use their tremendous wealth to, get this, silence reports of the negative effects of their products. I mean, come on, guys. Use your brain. Number 3. That the Earth is flat? Oh, yeah, okay.
I like number 2 because there's some extreme sarcasm. I love the idea. This is something I'm currently going over with people. I love the idea that people think that like all of these conspiracy theories have this like greater end goal of like world manipulation and thought control and all these things, when the very reason that these things are being done is right in front of your face. And you participate in it actively every single day. And that is capitalism. And look, I've been on this channel before. I've told you guys this before. 100% I understand that capitalism is probably the most economically friendly model for the government, right? Like, we've seen what some of the other things have done. And you've heard me say that I think that we need socialist policies to combat some of the capitalism that is very negative. But this idea that it's like this huge crazy conspiracy of these ultra wealthy elites that are controlling it because they want to control your brains and everything. No, they just want your money. They want your money. That's what it fucking comes down to. That's what capitalism is. It's a race to see who can get the most shit. And you participate it and support it actively every fucking day. And then you go and tell other people that it's just really they're trying to control your brain. That's what it's about. No, they want your money. It's not that fucking hard.
And then what would happen if a meteorite hit one end of the Earth? Would everybody on the other side of the Earth just fly off into space? Some people will just believe anything. And it's pivotal moments in human history like this one that I'm glad I'm not one of those people. Number 4. That the
Okay. Flat Earth. I've heard this before, and I want somebody, speaking of money, to financially back the reality TV show where we send flat earthers to the edge of the Earth. I feel like if we don't get behind that, then we're just kind of giving them ammo, right? Wasn't there that guy that like accidentally like offed himself by building a rocket? It was like his 6th time, and he shot himself up, and he got so high up that when he came back down, like his parachute or something like that didn't work, and he ended up dying. That may not be true. Make sure you Google that. Didn't that shit happen? Oh my God. We are missing so many opportunities because we are so distracted with the crazy shit going in life. Can you guys imagine the amount of fun we could be having by sending flat earthers to the edge of the earth? We could be having such a good time. And instead we have to fucking fight Trump. We are missing opportunities, guys. Oh my God.
U.S. government assassinated Martin Luther King Jr. and also conducted an experiment called MK Ultra on several college students, including Ted Kaczynski, who would later go on to become the Unabomber. Fellas, I'm literally shaking and crying right now. The U.S. government would never do this. Number 5, that Jeffrey Epstein and John...
I feel like he's being sarcastic. I'm pretty sure that shit happened. Oh, I actually love this video.
McAfee didn't kill themselves. Okay, then who did? Some kind...
Okay, god damn it, I believe way too much of this shit. I might be a conspiracy theorist. Oh, fuck.
Powerful cabal? Number 6, that COVID isn't even real.
Okay, this is probably the most amazing video ever. I don't know, this is a masterpiece because he's both mixing in some shit that okay, most likely is true. With shit that's absolutely fucking nuts. And he's making an amazing point. I fucking love this.
It was manufactured by the media. These people, the world could be on fire right outside their window and they'd still believe that it's not happening. It's so frustrating. You can't just blame the media for every problem. Not everything is an optics issue. Not everything is manufacturing consent. What kind of paranoid, delusional world do these people live in? At least it makes for some good entertainment for us. Number 7, that COVID-19 originated in a lab, which was partially funded.
Oh, god damn it. God damn it, he suckered me in. He suckered me in! Holy fuck!
By the U.S. government. You're right, George Driver. That is a hilarious conspiracy theory. So funny. If anybody ever wants to discuss or think about any of these conspiracy theories ever, then they should be removed. We should make it so that if anybody ever wants to discuss any of these things online, they'll have to use coded language in an annoying, ironic, sarcastic tone of voice. This is a very good idea because it won't feed into the paranoid schizophrenia of millions of conspiracy theorists who already...
Holy fuck, this is a masterpiece. He suckered me right the fuck in. He got me. He pulled me in with that fucking the first one, and the second one, and it slowly started to say shit that I believe. I have been converted! Oh, fuck. Alright. Oh my god, that is, I'm gonna like that shit. I don't know if I should be actually helping this get any more views, but that was a masterpiece. He suckered me right the fuck in. Now I'm scared! Now I'm scared! Yeah, exactly, woke. Yeah, well, that's the point, okay? That's the point. I'm going to go back to my original point. The reason that I feel a little bit, like, morally not okay for liking the video is because I made this point at the beginning of this video. If you get, like, 2 or 3 things right out of, like, 10,000, that's not a good percentage. And if you look at the amount of, like, misinformation that can be spread because you're putting out 10,000... That's not a good fucking percentage, guys. I agree with certain things, but even in the ones that I agree with, I can't prove. That's the fucking main thing for me. There's a difference, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a difference between proof and evidence. Evidence is something that, like, would be like, okay, so one thing that was shared with me was, look, all these people were incentivized to get the vaccine. That's evidence that people were incentivized to get the vaccine. But that's not proof that what they were doing it for was malfeasance. It's not proof that the reason that they were doing it was because they wanted a negative outcome. In fact, I would go right back to the same fucking thing I said before, and if anything, I would end up on the end of they want to keep the economy open, they want to keep businesses running, they want to keep taxes flowing in because they want to continue capitalism. If you were to ask me my opinion on that subject. But there's also other outcomes. Perhaps not everybody is the evilest person that you've ever met in your life, and they might actually want you to live. That's a possibility as well. You know, like, that's the thing with the conspiracy theory thing, is that there is so much left up to the individual to decide that it really just turns out that there's no real strong basis to come to the same conclusion that they do. At the end of the day, the majority of almost all of these conspiracy theories can be tracked back to the fact that the government wants to keep the economy open because we're in a capitalistic society that runs off of your taxes, and if the fucking society is closed down or you die, they lose money. This is like the insanity. This is where you get to this point where you believe that, like, you know, people are trying to do these things to poor people with green energy, and it's not because they want to keep their fucking, you know, beautiful, wonderful tropical home where it is. What up, Brad? Oh, shit. Brandon, are you talking about Joe Biden? I'm gay for you, Brandon, dude. You in that picture, bro. I'm for a guy who's calling other people gay. my dar is going off, bro. Why does it proving most of this shit matter? Because we all know the government's gonna govern. We all know about it. Yeah. Well, stupid. And that's your name, so I'm calling you stupid. Exactly. Do you agree that Trump colluding with Russia to win in 2016 was a conspiracy? I believe that the percentage of evidence that was shown that Donald Trump had anything to do with collusion with Russia is not of a high enough percentage to put him on trial for those things. I also agree that during the time that he was the sitting president, it also influenced whether or not he was prosecuted. I think that if Donald Trump wasn't who Donald Trump is, and I'm not just talking about a politician, but a wealthy American, that you probably would have seen his ass on trial. I believe from looking at the evidence in the Mueller report, there's enough, but that's also coming from a guy who's not a lawyer. You know, like when we talk about preponderance of evidence, we're talking about more likely than not, which is 51%. I don't know what the statute is for proving that somebody colluded to interfere with an election. I'd have to look that up. I'd want to know, is that 50%? Is that 70%? Is that 80%? Is it beyond a shadow of a doubt? Those are the things that I'd have to know before I could really say whether or not that I believe that. I believe that the 37 indictments that were held, the fact that Michael Flynn was shown to have lied to federal agents. They did say that Donald Trump did interfere with the investigation. They did find that. They did find that Donald Trump did meet with Russians in his Trump motel at one point, or at least that the meeting was set up. I might be getting that wrong. So there's a lot to that. But like I've said before, there's saying something is shady and saying something seems wrong, and then there's what you can take a person to court for. And that generally comes down to whether or not your evidence and proof adds up to a preponderance of evidence that meets a statute. So whether it's beyond a shadow of a doubt, or if it's just a preponderance of evidence, which is more likely than not, those are the things that you'd have to like explain to me before I could make a decision on whether or not I thought that he should have been put on trial for that. Thanks, that's cool, I guess. Yeah, you totally turned me on, Brandon. You cannot believe how hard I am right now, Brandon. The funniest part is those fake libertarians are like, no government. Yeah, libertarians are the biggest hypocrites of all time. I thought I was a libertarian. Everybody thinks they're a libertarian for 2 years of their life. And then you go to talk to libertarians and you're like, you're just Republicans. Ask a libertarian who believe everything is fine. The government shouldn't regulate anything. You should be allowed to do whatever you want as long as it doesn't hurt you. Ask a libertarian if they own a $1 million house and a poor person wants to put their house next to their house, and that's going to devalue their house by $250,000. Ask them if they think that's okay. They will tell you no every fucking time. They go, that's harming me. Oh, but you guys are the ones that say that thoughts don't harm people. That words don't harm people. This is just finances, bro. It's not physically harming you. Libertarians are the biggest hypocrites. And here's the thing about it. Most people that believe they're libertarians aren't libertarians. I thought I was a libertarian. I'm not a libertarian. Every time you talk to a libertarian, they're like, well, somebody should do something about that. And I'm like, that's government regulation, you asshole. Let's see. Oh, we got Trump 2024 finally. Holy Christ. What the fuck are the red blocks? Are you a communist? This movie is epic. Okay. Here's your last chance, and then I'm gonna block you. We don't spam. You can come in and say dumb shit, but you can't spam. For the moderators. Sorry to hear that Trump virus took out 3 of your friends. Yeah, I know somebody that actually lost his wife to QAnon. Shitler, 6 feet under 2024. Screams comes in. Ask them if they prefer to starve their children or sell them on a robust unregulated market. Yeah, there's a million questions you can ask libertarians that'll expose their hypocrisy. It's because libertarianism, just like communism, looks good on paper, but then when you actually do it, it's really fucking bad. Like communism, if you just write it out, you're like, oh yeah, that shit seems good. You give stuff to people, everybody's the same fucking level, everybody eats the same, everybody has the same fun times, seems great. Then you go back and watch a fucking video of what happened during Lenin and you're like, oh, nope, doesn't work out. Libertarianism's the same shit. You write all that shit out, freedoms for everybody as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else. An unregulated market where everybody has a good time. And then you recognize that the very shit that people complain about in libertarianism, they're like, there's a monopoly on information. Like, oh, you guys aren't against monopolies, though. Yeah, we are. No, you're not. Because that's unregulated, unfettered capitalism is monopolies. That's what would fucking happen. We have regulated capitalism, and Amazon is about to be full fucking idiocracy. If you want anything, you want your taxes done, you're going to be going to fucking Amazon. You want a shirt, you're going to Amazon. You want food, you're going to Amazon. You want an escort, probably going to Amazon. You could probably get an escort and your taxes done, a la idiocracy, from Amazon in the near future. That's unfettered or regulated capitalism. Imagine what it would look like in unfettered capitalism. Jesus Christ, can't talk anymore. Oh, fuck. Anyways, next video. All right, this one, I'm gonna hope I didn't get suckered into this one too. Jesus Christ, now I'm triggered. Now that I have PTSD after that last video. He got me. He fucking got me. You have to give credit where credit is due, guys. That guy got my ass.
What is the funniest conspiracy theory? That rocks are actually soft and squishy, they just tense up when we touch them. Holy sh**. That the moon is a hoax.
That's the greatest conspiracy theory. Rocks are squishy until you touch them, and then they tense up. That is the perfect conspiracy theory, because you can't prove a negative or whatever. Like you can't prove that it doesn't happen.
Not the moon landings, the moon itself. Everyone knows the moon isn't real.
Boats aren't real, boys!
Everyone knows that Piccolo destroyed the moon to save us from Gohan.
BBC!
My dad seriously thinks that the government manipulates the weather so they can make money on a certain type of bread. What? Like, there's this bread seed that doesn't work unless it's at specific temperatures. They also use the weather manipulation to flood Colorado because of something political. Fuck. It really makes me sad to hear a once brilliant man saying these kinds of things.
Okay, was it Wonder Bread? Was it Wonder Bread? It's just like all conspiracy theories. It starts with a good point, like that the government can manipulate the weather. Fucking seeding clouds is a thing. Like you can do things to our atmosphere. It's not like ethically considered okay, But I think if you look at the Chinese or something like that, they're doing that. They always started off with like, you're like, yeah, actually that shit's happening. And then they're like, to fucking sell Wonder Bread. And you're like, God damn it, you lost me. Fuck.
No, it's not even close, really. That Lady Gaga is actually John Bennett Ramsey. I'm utterly and completely enamored with this idea. I also enjoy the theory that Lady Gaga is one of Sacha Baron Cohen's characters. My uncle is convinced.
Oh, Christ. That's so funny. This movie is epic. I think you're in the wrong chat, bro. Okay, we're just gonna ban you. I'm gonna do you a favor, Epic. I'm gonna ban you so you can go find the right channel, okay? Because we're having a good time in here and you're being a little bitch. Bye! Alright, here we go. My uncle is convinced that the world actually did end last December.
The world actually did end last December, but we just haven't realized it yet because of some cover-up. Well, I've had enough.
Shit.
I'm on board with this one. Wake up, sheeple. We're already dead. You can't wake up dead. That's just redundant.
That's from fucking Scary Movie. Oh my god, it's a movie quote. I love it. How you gonna wake up? How you gonna wake up dead? If you dead, then you didn't wake up.
That's like turning up missing.
Shit.
You should insinuate that when this winter is colder than the last, that it is heat death of the universe.
Hold on. I don't know if this exists. Well, of course it exists. It's the internet, right? Wake up dead is Scary Movie. I think that's the quote. If you guys, man, back when times were simpler and we watched movies on VHS, this is the kind of shit that this was what we used to have. Okay, guys?
Cindy, there's no such thing as a killer videotape.
Oh.
Hell yeah, there is. In fact, I know somebody can definitely help you with that.
You do? Who?
Wait up, man. I heard Jamal from 90th Street. He watched that tape last week, and this morning he woke up dead.
How the hell do you wake up dead?
Because you're alive when you go to sleep.
Wait, just tell me you can
You
help
telling me that you can go to bed dead and wake up alive?
You can't go to bed dead, man. That shit would be redundant.
Just tell me.
No, because you can go to bed and not be dead, and you can die but not be in the bed.
But you are in the bed, man. That's how you wake up dead in the first place, fool.
Damn!
God damn!
Right there, man. Classes, you stay dropping knowledge.
Just tell me.
You stay dropping knowledge. Oh, fuck. Okay, sorry. Oh, shit. That is my favorite right there. Oh, my God.
And that the last light of the sun hasn't reached Earth yet. No, we all learned a while ago that the best way to deal with my uncle is to not say anything. Let him talk.
You're all
and
programmed!
Periodically, paying attention to what he's saying is optional. The whole Paul is dead thing, it would mean that the fake Paul did way more than the real Paul ever did. It's really funny how far people will stretch to find clues. My aunt, huge Beatles fan during Beatlemania, told me that supposedly on the back cover of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, the vinyl, Ringo is pointing to a song lyric. It's from She's Leaving Home. The lyric is Wednesday morning at 5 o'clock as the day begins. Then, if you flip the album upside down, the Beatles logo looks like a phone number. Call it at Wednesday morning at 5 o'clock and you'll hear a man say you're following the clues. If you give him your address, he'll give you tickets to Pepperland, which were supposedly just acid taps. This one is my favorite. A few years ago, when I
Don't give people your home address. Oh my god. Even for acid, guys. Even for acid.
was in Jordan, I was speaking to some Jordanian soldiers. They told me that they all knew Osama bin Laden wasn't killed, and that he was a political prisoner, and was in the same prison as Saddam Hussein. I worked with a guy who claimed, before he started his job, that he was a part of a special forces unit that combined the top tier operators from all the branches, and reported directly to the president. He told me that bin Laden was not dead, and he knew this, because they went and saw him at a hospital in Germany. I'm a combat vet, so whenever someone starts telling war stories, I like to ask simple questions that anyone who served, regardless of their branch, would know. He kept backpedaling, and his default answer to my questions was, I can't discuss that. I hear that a lot, and I tell them it's okay. I've got a top secret security clearance, So you can tell me. He also mentioned he made a sniper shot that was documented on the History Channel.
Oh my
from 1.5
God.
miles out into an armored car convoy, which I believe was made by an SASOP or someone from the UK. I do wonder why people feel the need to lie to combat vets about super secret stuff. We will smell the bullshit. Circuits.
This is like, I'm sorry, conspiracy theorists. This is exactly why I can't trust you motherfuckers. Okay? It's because I've met too many people in my life that were like that dude. They're like, bro, I've killed 17 people. Like, you wouldn't tell me if you did that. That would be dumb. That would get you put in prison. That would be really stupid. Like, so now I don't trust anybody anymore because of people like that. Oh my God.
City. It's less relevant since they are no longer in business, but perhaps this is due to concerns over a federal indictment. I'm not convinced Circuit
If
City
you haven't
was in
subscribed to the
business
channel, please
to make
subscribe.
a profit. In fact, it seems likely that they were a front for a
Oh,
criminal
Christ.
organization to launder large sums of money. Most large box retailers follow the same strategies to maximize sales, all of which Circuit City seemed to flaunt. Locate your building in prime real estate. Circuit City was always located in a second-tier location. It was never on a main boulevard by a large shopping center, but tucked around the corner a few miles from everything else. Keep aisle width to a minimum. Circuit City, on the other hand, thought it wise to have aisles wide enough for an 18-wheeler to go through. CC's strategy here seems to be to minimize the amount of product they can keep in the store, despite big box stores making money off of the number of sales, rather than purely on margins on products. Place either popular or impulse buys at the front.
This is a
Contrary
fucking-
to this,
what the fuck is
Circuit
this?
City seemed to regularly place large household appliances, antiquated
What is this
TVs,
shit?
or vacuum cleaners at the front, because it's obvious that Joe Schmo who saunters into Circuit City may splurge and purchase a new washer. I forgot about this one. This should be at the top. I love this one. It's the perfect mix of bizarre and ominous yet kinda inconsequential to be Jewish believable
That's
enough.
what I'm saying!
Circuit City was extremely profitable though, up until the early zeros. Once Circuit City stopped selling major appliances
Why
is when their
what the
downfall
fuck
began.
is this?
It took a while, because they were scraping by throughout the zeros off of the money they had previously made. They had all of the chances in front of them to put Best Buy out of business. If it was possible for a business, they literally had their hands wrapped around Best Buy's neck, firing all of their high-earning.
I feel like they know who I am. Like, I literally read a study on this because it's part of my job, on the Best Buy Circuit City models, using signpost items, all that stuff. That's right. I'm a manipulator. Sorry, guys. But the psychology of consumers. I feel like they knew I was watching this video and included this just for me, because I could literally go off about like all of this and how it's either right or wrong probably for an hour and a half and lose every single subscriber because they'd be like, this is the most boring shit I have ever heard in my life.
employees, and removing commission is what sealed the deal for them. Although, it would be cool to think that I used to work for a criminal organization. Nuclear bombs are not real.
What's up,
Downvoted
Thomas?
to hell in /r/conspiracy.
Nuclear
That takes
bombs
some
aren't real.
serious crazy. Wow, that is impressively dumb. My favorite part is that there's no given explanation for nuclear submarines. Just, who the hell knows? Not me. I like the one
fuck?
that says that Miley Cyrus was beaten to death for refusing sexual favors to her handlers at Disney, and
Oh
her
my
body
God!
was dumped in the desert, and she
Oh
was
my
replaced
God!
with a double. The head of Disney, Mickey Mouse, ain't no joke. He used to beat the shit out of the Jonas Brothers for not promoting chastity. It was on a documentary called South Park. Miley Cyrus conspiracy. Food for thought. That the earth is hollow and
What
the
the
Nazis
hell?
moved inside the earth after World War II. Then over hundreds of years of radiation poisoning and self-mutilation. Gears of War 1 begins.
Oh, fuck.
Can confirm. Nearly every Nazi from WWII is under the earth. At least 6 feet. Gosh, do I feel
Ugh.
lead to point ancient aliens told me they hopped in some bell-shaped.
This video is not getting monetized, guys. Oh my god, I just lost every chance to get this video monetized. I'm gonna need you guys to join my ginger army for 10 cents a day, please, so I can make any money at all. There is about 0 chance that I'm gonna get this one monetized. Fuck, this might be the last time you guys see me. Your friend worked on a nuke sub for 5 years. Subs aren't real, Trace. Dude, you have to troll on Newsmax comments? Fuck. Holy Christ. Yeah, the reason I don't go and troll on stuff is because if I troll on stuff, that's how I really get banned. That shit gets. I've seen too many of my
and
commenters
crashed
get
in rural
banned.
Pennsylvania in the 60s. I have a
I've
friend
seen
who
their
really
ass over there
believes they
fucking
are
with
on the moon.
Trump people.
Relevant movie Iron Sky Nazis Nazis set up a base on the moon in 1945 and attack Earth 70 years later.
That's true!
I heard this
It's
one
a
from
movie!
a client after Hurricane Katrina. The US government created Hurricane Katrina with weather controlling technology purchased from the Soviets when the USSR collapsed. How else do you explain Hurricane Katrina traveling precisely over the International Hurricane Research Center in Florida, then taking a right turn and demolishing a good number of the oil rigs in the Gulf outside of Nala, thus spiking oil prices and putting a lot of money in G.W. Bush and Cheney's pockets? I live in Boulder. I love the idea that the government can control the weather, but their most profitable use for it is destroying oil rigs. Hey. What should we do with this HARP weather control thing? Perhaps we could destroy our enemies without them ever knowing it was us. Destroy everyone except us, and rule the world. Now, let's just use it on ourselves, and lose billions in damage costs. That the Village People were a covert operation by the US government to cheer everyone up during the recessions and oil crisis of the 1970s.
It's an optimistic
So what
one.
if you lost your job and have to stay at the YMCA? It's fun to stay at the YMCA. Or what about the Navy? You can sail the 7 seas. After that it kind of got out of hand. I know someone that believes that there is an island out there with dinosaurs still on it.
No!
Like Jurassic Park style. I would say
Oh,
my friend who
shit.
believes that his frying pan makes the Packers win every week. Then someone threw it out 4 weeks ago and haven't won since.
His paranoid thinking Vikings fan came in and tossed it while he was asleep. I can get behind that one. I can 100% get behind that one. Gotta wear the same jersey or else the Eagles don't win. Fuck. Oh my god, this is so good. Reddit, this is what I'm saying, guys. The internet should no longer be used for information. It's time to turn the internet off for access, for education. Or maybe we could like create like a sub-internet where you go for like informational stuff. Okay? But the internet should only be for fun and laughing, and that's it. I think that's what saves society. I think that's what saves society.
He is paranoid thinking Vikings fans
Oh,
came in
shit.
and tossed it while he was asleep. It's not stupid if it works. For some reason I really want a Bud Light right now. Crap, they noticed. Run/r/Minnesota Vikings run. Find that damn frying pan before Sunday as a Atlanta fan. Shut up. Lizard people. Louis the 100th point K. Asking Donald Rumsfeld if he was a reptilian is one of the most funny/crazy things I've heard. The worst part is that he actually tried to dodge the question instead of laughing and saying no. Look,
Oh,
I
full
used to
politician.
agree that this was awesome and humorous. Then, my ex-wife took my kids to a psychiatrist without letting me know, in defiance of our court order. Once I found out, I looked this woman up. She's all about reptilians.
Oh, no.
Channeling ascended masters, disguised angels living among us,
Oh,
and my
no.
favorite, that God told her to give away all the books she owns. We go to court on this next week.
Oh, that is the best conspiracy theory manipulation tactic I have ever heard. Convince them to give away all their books. That's like Fahrenheit 451. That is literally Fahrenheit 451. Convince people education is bad. Looking into politicians is bad. Look into information is bad. Because it's all just going to make you sad. Holy shit. Like, people don't understand what middle ground is. People don't understand, like, that you can both ask questions and also kind of keep yourself, like, aware that there's, like, bad information that could lead you to the wrong place. So what should you do? Just get rid of all your books. It'll make your life easier. That's the best manipulation ever.
You mean Argonians?
Oh, fuck.
This is certainly the funniest one. A race of reptiles run the world from beneath skin masks that make them
It's
look
a good
human.
call,
Their
that one
diabolical
girl.
plan is to perpetrate the atrocity of treating us like politicians and business actually do anyway. But they're lizard people.
Yeah, Wumbo, Occam's razor. The simplest answer is the most likely answer. Now, that doesn't mean the simplest answer is always the answer. It means it's the most likely answer. And I like Christopher Hitchens' razor. Hitchens' razor says that which is shown without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. That's my favorite razor. All right. Holy shit. We got to get to the AI portion of this. I kind of went down the rabbit hole of making fun of conspiracy theorists. But Christ. Okay, I kind of want to watch this again. Fuck. I don't know if I can. Okay, we're going to watch Legion Miller's, because this is the whole point of why I got on here in the first place, and then I started going down the laughing at conspiracy theorists fucking rabbit hole. Oh, Christ. You know when you laugh at Trump supporters, you're kind of getting two birds, one stone. If birds were real, okay? Two birds, one stone, because you both get to laugh at people that are politically absolutely fucking insane and people that believe conspiracy theories. So you get to do both at once, and that really is it's an efficient use of my time. But we had a reason for coming on this one and watching that, and that is because Legia Miller, who is my BFF, she doesn't know that, but we are best friends forever, okay? Just put out a video called AI is Bad for Democracy. And this is going to trigger the conspiracy theorists to no end. This may be the end of most conspiracy theorists' ability to come outside ever again. Because she's about to talk about how AI can be used for a insane amount of manipulation in the media and in our politics. So anyways, I like Legia Miller, and we're going to watch her. So I hope you guys are ready for this. First, I'll answer some questions. Scared Ketchup, he's fucking amazing. Fatty loves Scared Ketchup. Oh, that's why you guys are talking about it. Do you think Dixon Myers is going to win the election? I just saw that somebody got on the ballot as literally none of these people. I think he changed his name to literally none of these people. And he's going to run officially for the president. What is the chance, guys? Percentage chance that literally none of these people ends up becoming our next president. What's the chance on that, guys? God, that'd be... I mean, I'm both for listening to it, that it's fucking hilarious, but also really scared that it might happen. You've never heard of Hitchens' Razor? Yeah, I love Christopher Hitchens. He's one of my favorite fucking people, dude. My favorite conspiracy right now is Christians trying to say karma is demon, not something that just happens. Okay, all right, the demons. It's all about the demons. Great Britain, Americans! That is the only thing I expect Great Britain to ever say. Americans! The biggest conspiracy, what Obama's last name and why are they covering it up? Dude, my favorite part of a bunch of people saying that they're not racist is they can't stop saying Hussein. I'm not racist. Barack Hussein Obama. I'm not racist. Barack Hussein Obama. Like they always put the emphasis on the Hussein part. God damn it. Like you guys don't realize like you're your own worst fucking enemies. Holy shit. He needs a lot of signatures. Yeah. Wasn't a great president. Yeah, sure, Brandon. Dude, you are the dumbest fucking person in chat, and that is saying something. Brandon. He wasn't a great president, top 5, and Biden doesn't even do a good job. You just can't admit the truth. Brandon, you're a moron. No one talks to you. You don't have any friends. All your friends hate you. Your family left you. Your coworkers don't want to work with you because you're awkward and weird. And the only time that you get any interaction is when you come on YouTube and talk to people and say really dumb shit like you just did. I'm just being honest, buddy. I'm just being honest, okay? I feel for you. I actually care for you. I want you to do better. I want you to get out of the cult. I want you to make friends again. I want your family to bring you back into the fold and love you again and hug you and give you the things that you're missing, like optimism and hope. Those things. That's what I want for you, Brandon. Okay, bud? But at the end of the day, if you just come on here and say stupid shit all the time, like you just said, which is factually incorrect, I do believe that a bunch of political historians that I bet knows more than Brandon fucking Baker got on there and said, you know what? Joe Biden's actually, what was it, the 11th best president of all time? And Donald Trump's like the second fucking worst. Do you know who fucking Franklin Pierce is, Brandon Baker? Of course you fucking don't. Because you're a moron and you don't read books. Franklin Pierce was considered a better president than fucking Donald Trump. And Franklin Pierce was considered an alcoholic during a time when everybody drank a bunch of fucking alcohol. Anyways, yeah, let's go with the old man who rubs little kids' legs and sniffs on Biden is great. Bro, you watch a bunch of clips, you read a bunch of conspiracies, you're online 24/7. I bet if I looked at your phone, it would say, never gets off. You're dumb, and your thoughts are dumb, and you should feel bad. But if you ever want to get better, and you ever want to say, hey guys, I'm really sorry for saying the stupid shit I said, and I read a book, I actually engaged in like some actual literature, and I'd like to have a real argument and debate actual facts, come on in. Say something that makes sense. You want to argue with me on Second Amendment? You want to argue with me on whether or not Biden's a better president than Trump? Then say something that actually makes sense. Not a bunch of dumb shit that somebody spoon-fed to you. Fuck that, bro. That's stupid. You cannot talk about how fucking shitty other people are and then come on here and say the stupid shit you say. I'm gonna laugh my ass off when he gets elected in 2024. Sure, buddy. Sure, buddy. You're gonna cry. You're gonna cry when Joe Biden gets elected in 2024. Because you know why I know you're gonna cry? Because this is what you're still doing now. We're 4 years into Joe Biden's president, and you've never stopped crying. You guys talk about people being snowflakes, and you're the biggest fucking snowflakes, the most sensitive fucking people that I've ever met in my whole fucking life. You just sit here and cry and cry and cry for 4 years non-fucking stop, and then you wonder why people don't take you seriously. Huh, I wonder. I do wear Bose earbuds, yeah. The Gauss's Law, don't know about Gauss's Law, but I will look it up. Thank you. Let's see. What do Jeffrey Epstein, Vince McCann, and P. Diddle have in common? Trump. So you're cool with the crackhead selling our country out. Dude, you want to talk about Hunter Biden? Do you really want to talk about Hunter Biden, Brandon Baker? Show me the evidence that Hunter Biden has done anything illegal. I've been waiting a long fucking time for people in better positions, Republicans on a committee, to show me this evidence. And yet every fucking time they try, Les Parnas, all the fucking people they brought in that said that they have no evidence that are on their side. Where's the impeachment, Brandon? Why haven't they impeached him yet? Because there's no fucking evidence, Brandon. That's why. If you can show me evidence that they have done anything that is illegal, not immoral, but illegal, I will 100% be happy to fucking say that I agree with you. Oh, P. Diddy was cool with Hillary Clinton and Obama. There's literally a fucking picture of P. Diddy with Trump as well, Brandon. This is the problem with you guys. I'm not up here saying, there's a picture of P. Diddy and Trump. No, you are saying this dumb shit. I don't use it as evidence. You do, because you're a moron and you're basic. And everything you believe is fucking basic. That's why, buddy. Jesus Christ. Can you fucking talk about something that has any factual base? Can you present any evidence or proof of any of the things you believe? No, you can't. No, you can't. Because you're basic. You're fucking basic. You made the mistake of coming in here and thinking you're going to talk to a left-wing progressive that is fucking super above you, and he's going to condescend to you, and he's going to tell you about how much smarter he is. No. I'm from the fucking trailer park, Brandon, okay? I'm on your level. I used to believe stupid shit like you believe. You know why? Because I used to be around a bunch of people that are uneducated. Hunter's laptop isn't proof of anything other than the fact that the guy did drugs and liked hookers. Those are against the law, and if you would like to see him put in jail for those things, then you should fucking apply for some kind of fucking job in politics, because the people that are currently hating Joe Biden can't prove any of it was against the law. No one's smoking crack in the White House, you absolute fucking moron. No one's fucking hookers. My guy, I guarantee you've done drugs in your life. I guarantee you've done bad shit in your life. And if we brought that shit to light right now because you had a laptop and we pulled up a bunch of pictures of you doing it, you'd be like, oh, yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did that. Don't come in here with dumb shit. That's my problem with you guys. My problem, they didn't find crack in the White House. You're white enough to know that was cocaine. Come on. There's a difference. There's a difference. And we know that because you're from the trailer park too, big guy. Look, guy, if you want to come on here and actually say some shit that actually makes sense, ask Trent. Trent's one of my fucking guys that comes on here. He's a conservative. He's not a moron-ass fucking Brandon Baker. He comes on here and he says stuff and we talk about it. And we enjoy the conversation, okay? But if you're going to come on here and just use conspiracy and dumb fucking baseless-ass accusations that not only can't be proven by you, but can't be proven by people that are in a better position to prove it, then I'm just going to shit on you because that's all you deserve. You don't deserve to have somebody actually talk to you with any type of real sense. If you want to debate actual shit, Brandon, bring that shit up and we will actually debate real fucking shit. But for now, you're just a moron that is repeating the dumb shit that you hear on fucking Fox News or the shit that you think that you're getting that isn't mainstream media. That is a bunch of people making a bunch of fucking money off of your thoughts and your fear and your hatred and your fucking anger. That's it. That's it. So do me a favor, get some real fucking original thoughts and then hop on this shit and go ahead and fucking throw them up in chat, and then I'll talk to you. But until then, Brandon, I'm just going to act like you don't exist. Okay? All right. Thanks, buddy.
President Trump is a total and complete dip.
As AI grows more sophisticated and popular, the voices warning against the potential dangers are growing louder.
Introducing AI-generated election posters. You can basically be anyone in a minute, and that's what Millet and Massa hope to achieve.
Some are sounding the alarm that 2024 could be the first, quote, deep fake election. Quite scary.
Now, before the people of Taiwan hit the polling
like the
stations,
stream,
Professor,
subscribe.
This morning, they faced
Love
a
you
wave
guys.
of disinformation
Appreciate you.
that is being viewed
Brandon,
as a
I
Chinese
still love you,
strategy
buddy.
to
I have
influence
faith
voters.
that you'll get
This
better.
audio tape began circulating online. It purported to be a recording of a conversation in which Shemechka talks about stealing the election.
Meanwhile, China amplifies its state-aligned campaign by using AI-generated deep fake news anchors under the brand name Wolf News.
We have to condition our voters to understand that everything that they see on the internet may not be real.
2024 marks the year when the most people ever in history will vote.
Oh,
Nearly half the
boy.
world's population will vote in a Democratic election this year. Meanwhile, AI technology has been advancing at an alarming rate.
And let me just say this, because this actually makes a million fucking % sense, and I'm going to stop Legion for a second to say this. This is what you fuck should care about, Brandon. This is real. This is real. This is what you should be upset about. This is what you should be talking about. You just waste your time talking about baseless conspiracy theory when there's real actual shit going on in this world that you should care about. But you are so fucking basic that all you want to talk about is the weird conspiracy theory bullshit that you think is going on. Why are you concentrating on that when you could be focusing on something like this that we all can agree could potentially become a problem? I bet you, Brandon, that you agree that this is something we should be concerned about. But instead, you want to be distracted and talk about Hunter's laptop and how he had prostitutes and crack cocaine. You guys are more infatuated with Hunter Biden's dick pics than you are with the potential of AI creating something that you should be concerned about. That should tell you how basic your level of understanding and thought is. Because there are real problems. We should be talking about those, not about Brandon.
Leading to numerous instances around the world where AI is being used to proliferate disinformation and influence
Remy
the
coming in
outcomes of
hard.
elections. This includes here in the U.S., where in January, robocalls featuring an AI-produced version of Joe Biden's voice encouraged people not to vote in the New Hampshire primary. Meanwhile, Congress is doing Nothing. It's passing bills to ban TikTok over fears that China will influence our elections, which doesn't get to the root of the issue. Bad actors are using AI to the detriment of democracies everywhere. What we do about that will have profound implications as AI continues to improve and become easier and easier for anyone to use. This is why AI is a threat to democracy. Roll the intro.
And so this is my opinion on this, because I'm really hopeful and optimistic with the future of AI. I think that it's actually going to improve our lives pretty incredibly. I think that we're going to end up getting some of the things for society that we've been all asking for to help, alleviate some of the physical duress on us as a people, and give us abilities to start engaging in things that are a lot more positive and optimistic. And I actually really do believe that, right? But I also think that it's incredibly important for us to need to regulate AI. And that's why I think that America should spend so much time putting so much effort into AI and regulating it and creating it. And that's because if we don't do it, somebody else is going to do it, right? So my hope is that we get out ahead, and the greatest minds in America, the people that are truly for the people, the people that really do care about seeing everyone do well, get involved in this type of thing and create regulations that later will benefit us, instead of saying things like what you see on the right, conservative, oh God, it's all going to be bad, it's going to be terrible, we shouldn't have anything to do with it, because China's going to move forward with it, because people in the Middle East are going to move forward with it, because people throughout the globe are going to move forward with AI. So we have the choice to either be in the driver's seat and move forward with AI and kind of set the precedent for what we expect from AI, or we can sit back and let somebody else do it that we think may have more nefarious reasons to do so. So that's my opinion on where we're going with AI, and that's why I find this conversation to do with where AI could go and how it could be bad is very important, so that way we can understand what we should do about that. Exactly, I know you are. I know you are. Exactly. Thank you.
A recent story came out discussing how election disinformation has taken a big leap with AI being used to deceive worldwide. The coverage discusses that nation-state actors from China, Russia, and Iran are likely to conduct misinformation campaigns during the 2024 elections. Deepfake technology is being used to create misleading content in various countries, and concerns are rising about the prevalence of deepfakes and their potential impact on the upcoming elections, especially in India. If you're interested in fact-checking your news about the upcoming election to make sure you don't get duped by AI, Ground News is a great place to start. I am genuinely so impressed with Ground News and so happy that they're partnering with.
Okay. Ground News is good. I'm just going to fast forward so you guys don't have to watch the whole goddamn thing. But Ground News is a good site, supposedly, from what Leija said, and I'm not paid for this. And I trust Leija. She's a good person.
Or go to ground.news/Leija and sign up to get 40%
I missed you, that
off
one girl. I definitely missed
to
you.
get reliable information about the 2024 election.
Hold on.
Thanks,
We got a good question. BMO, who will regulate, though? That's a good question, right? So 4 years of crying, that's a lot of tears. He's very dehydrated. Exactly, Gray Pill. Who will end up regulating AI? That's a good question. So what I believe should happen with AI is the same thing that should happen with a lot of our political positions. One of the things I really, really dislike about conspiracy theory is that when we come to, or we get into discussions with conspiracy theorists, one of their main issues is with using experts for things, right? I think that we as a society have pushed further and further away from asking people that know a lot about certain subjects what we think about those subjects, because in the past we have been hurt by some of their bad decisions and some of the misinformation and flat out lies that some of these people have told. But I think that you do have to get to a point where you do have some type of vetting process for putting politicians, or I'm sorry, putting experts in place of politicians, right? Like if I want somebody to be involved with the educational system, I want them to have a pretty heavy background in the educational system and probably also some things to do with creating, whatever it comes with the educational system. If I want to put somebody in charge of, something like climate science, I want them to be a climate scientist, but I also want them to have, subcategories that they're also really good in as far as government goes and how to put forth things. So a lot of people also need backgrounds in managerial leadership stuff. So when we talk about who's going to regulate something like AI, I think what we need to really get to is a point where we have a council of people like Congress, but I'm going to use the word council because I think it's a little different. A council of people that have various different expertise that they can add to whether or not, criminally, what should be like punished for use with AI. So you need somebody that's probably a lawyer. You need somebody that probably, has a good moral standing. When you talk about how it's going to be used to like regulate like the economy and stuff like that, the last thing I want is Betsy DeVos in charge of regulating the economy. So I'd want to see somebody that knows a lot about the economy. Some of these people I'm probably not going to think are the nicest people. I'm not going to probably think they're the greatest people, but they're going to be people that are experts in their field. And I think that when you start talking about how you're going to do something as big as AI and how you're going to regulate it, you're going to need people in place that actually know what they're talking about. Not people that have connections, not people that have status, not people that have wealth, but the best possible people for the job. If you were to ask me, who should be in charge of, the physics division, I'm probably going to say Einstein if he was alive, right? If you're going to ask, who should be involved in the quantum decision, I'm going to probably say Bohr, right? During that time. Those are going to be the people that, like, I think are very intelligent people, very well educated in the subject. And unfortunately, what I think I see right now is two divisions of humanity that are really fucking scary for the future of AI. And that is politicians with connections that can get people into jobs that they don't potentially have the educational background to get into, and then conspiracy theorists who constantly want to talk about how you can't trust the experts. When you have those two types of people, and those two types of people are then going to be in some way influencing decisions on how AI is regulated, that's the kind of shit that worries me. I would like to see us get back to like having a actual a system that's based off of people's resumes, based off their experience, based off of like where they're at for what they want to do as far as like what the job is. Like I would put people in leadership that have leadership experience or at least have values that I think will lead them to be better leaders. If that explains anything. Jimmy, no one's listening to you, Jimmy. Jesus Christ, dude. Jimmy, the only thing you're an expert on is fucking writing in capital letters. The only thing that Jimmy is an expert in is talking shit about his own Eagles, all right? I'm still mad at you for that, Jimmy. I'm still mad at you for talking about the Eagles. I also want to know how you feel about Vic Fangio. And writing in capital letters. Thank you, BMO. That's what I think. I don't know that I'm right. That's just what I think. I'm open to questions. Anybody that wants to ask me questions revolving around AI, this is how I come up with my fucking beliefs as far as this kind of stuff goes, is through critical thinking and also through like how your questions like kind of how they challenge me. So I appreciate anybody in chat right now that wants to ask me questions about AI. Obviously, I'm not an AI expert. I have very little like experience and background in this. I do use AI tools. I do watch a lot of shit on AI, but I'm not an expert. No one should ever take anything I say as being the gospel truth. Everybody should do their own research. Everybody should get out there and figure out what they think about it and add their 2 cents. So I appreciate you guys for sure. Make sure to, if you have a question, ask me in the comments.
It turns out that since the dawn of the internet,
Renee.
Politicians and the government have been trying
Go
to figure out
Birds!
how to partner with it and regulate it, largely unsuccessfully. AI is just the latest chapter in this, but it's been going on for about 30 years. The year 1996
Thank
marked
you,
a
Orion.
milestone
Appreciate
with the
you.
launch of the first presidential
Everybody else, if
campaign
you haven't
websites,
sub
a
up.
novel concept that brought politics into the digital age. This era also saw Microsoft teaming up with NBC to launch the Decision 96 website, offering a new platform for political discourse. It was a period of firsts.
And that's really crazy to think. That was 1996. So we're 24 right now. That's 28 years ago. So within 28 years, we've moved from putting things on a website. Like that was the big thing. Oh my God, how crazy is that? Like you can access this information on the internet. To where we are now, where we have these large language models that potentially people like Ray Kurzweil are saying within 5 to 10 years will be increasing human longevity to 150, 200 years, potentially immortality. And then also talking about things like the potential to become something that is like an advanced type of human. Like think in 1996 when they're first putting up a website for a politician and how big they thought that was. And then move forward to 2024, where we're talking about ideas as big as curing cancer, immortality, being more than a human. That's just like, it's almost impossible to wrap your brain around. And Kurzweil actually goes into that and talks about how human beings can't wrap their brain around exponential growth. Like, it's actually one of the reasons that I think people are as broken as they are today. I think one of the issues with why we have this like really brain breaking situation with people not being able to like understand things anymore is because technology is moving at such an exponential rate, and human biology obviously moves at a snail's pace. We're not going to evolve like we did when, if you believe the theory of opposable thumbs, like we did at that point where our brain doubled in size over, what was it, like a 200,000 year period or whatever. It's not going to happen like that. We have exponential growth in technology that human biology just can't keep up with, and I think that's really breaking our brains. And when you look at something like what she's pointing out with the 1996 thing versus the 2024 thing, I think that people have a hard time understanding exactly how crazy that is.
Firsts, from the first e-commerce transaction in 1994, paving the way for online political donations in 1998, to the inception of Google AdWords in 2000. The digital landscape was rapidly evolving. The internet, initially celebrated for its potential to democratize information, quickly became an indispensable tool for political campaigns. The early 2000s saw further milestones, such as the first podcasts distributed through RSS in 2000, and the phenomenon of Google bombing in 2001, which highlighted the potential for misuse of these digital platforms. The term Google bombing gained popularity in the early 2000s when internet users discovered they could influence Google's search results by collectively linking to a site with the same anchor text. One of the most famous examples of Google bombing occurred in the early 2000s when searching for the phrase "dumb motherfucker" led to the official biography of George W. Bush. And this was not the result of Google's algorithms naturally associating the term with that page, but actually the effect of a coordinated effort by users who linked to Bush's biography using the phrase "dumb motherfucker" as the anchor text. And even in the 2000 election, fears of misinformation spread over the internet were present. In a September 2000 issue of Searcher magazine, Paul S. Piper, a librarian from Western Washington University, warned that counterfeit websites could fool people into believing things that weren't true, including fake George W. Bush websites. Despite these challenges and concerns, optimism about the internet's role in democracy prevailed. In the wake of the 2004 presidential election, it was clear that internet campaigning was here to stay, with e-campaign departments becoming a standard part of political organizations. And this optimism really reached its peak around the 2008 presidential election, heralded as the Facebook election. It was the first election where all candidates, presidential and congressional alike, were attempting to connect directly with American voters.
And this is where we start to have this like middle ground that's like developed, right? Where you start to look at things like this and you go, okay, I see how government and politics can be can influence everyday society and how that could be a bad thing, right? But this is where we start to differ with people either on the right or libertarians, is that these people don't want any type of actual regulations. Now, they claim things like they don't want interference in elections. They claim that they don't like, things being influenced in certain manners. But when you talk to a libertarian or when you talk to a Republican, most of the time you're talking about really small government, right? At least on the Republican side. For libertarians, it's an incredibly small government with very little actual regulation. So I think the biggest difference in ideologies here is me as a person that mostly leans left on the majority of the things that I believe. I see something like this happening, and I say to myself, that should be regulated. I think that you have to have third-party regulation of some of the government policies. Now, that does mean that you have to have trust, and you have to put faith in people to do the right thing. You have to, in some way, figure out how to get lobbyists and money out of politics. Because if you don't, then obviously when you say things like, well, a person could just give that third party a bunch of money to either loosen their regulations or regulate it in favor of the government, those things do make sense. But we continue to talk about these things, and nobody wants to actually agree that the main problem here is it's money. That when we talk about regulating the internet, the biggest concerns are that people that are regulating are going to be influenced from outside by money. And we need to get to a point as a society where we all accept that capitalism may be the greatest driving factor for economies, but probably not the best factor for humanity, right? Like, we have to start to think about how do we engage with the idea of capitalism and also engage with the ideas of socialism and social policies and stuff like that, and how those two things come together can really like form a bit of like a super economy, something where humans have more time to spend doing the things that they like and they love and a little less time doing the labors. And that's when we start talking about AI. But like, you do see that what she's saying here has some pretty good concerns, whether you're on the left or right, about how things could influence people in certain manners, and we're seeing that on both sides of this political spectrum nowadays.
Voters via Facebook and, yes, even MySpace.
Brandon, we're
Barack
talking
Obama's
about AI
successful
now,
campaign
bro.
demonstrated the power of
Ask
social
me questions
media
about
to
AI,
mobilize
Brandon.
voters, setting a
Ask me
new
questions about
standard
AI
for
and I'll
digital
answer them.
campaigning.
We've
Throughout
moved
his
on.
presidency, Obama utilized social media to reach voters. He was interviewed by Facebook executives,
Jesus
hosted
Christ,
a Twitter
Bonnie.
town hall, and Congress held its first hackathon. The Arab Spring of 2011 further underscored the transformative potential of social media as
That's so
protesters
crazy to
used
see.
these
Look at
platforms
that.
to organize and broadcast their struggle for democracy to the world. Again, in the 2012 election, social media was heralded and used extensively in political advertising, communication, and voter activation. And the platforms leaned into their role.
on.
Google
We got a question. Stephen Roberts says, why would you want to regulate the internet? How would that look? Who makes the decision that your thoughts and writings are okay? So, I'm not making the argument to regulate the internet. I'm making the argument that what people want done would entail regulating the internet, right? So we're not like arguing from a point of view that I would want that to happen. I'm arguing from the point of view that when people say things like the government being involved in Facebook or the government being involved in Twitter is bad because they manipulate the election results or they suppress information or whatever it is, I'm using somebody else's argument and I'm trying to, in the best way possible, show the outcomes of that argument. So as far as I go, do I want to regulate the internet? I think that there are certain things that are already considered illegal that should not be on the internet. So obviously things that are harmful to children or things that cause, well, I don't even know that inciting violence. I'm not completely sure on the law as far as inciting violence goes. But if that's against the law, I would say that too. So I would say for regulation for the internet, anything that is illegal should probably be kept off the internet, even the things that I agree with. Like I agree with the legalization of drug use, but if it's illegal, then obviously not having on there. Putting age limits on access to certain things on the internet, like social media, I'm actually okay for. That's something libertarians don't agree with, but I don't think that you can actually literally keep something like social media from children unless you're willing to enact something like using technology that scans your eyeballs. And then people aren't going to want that. So as far as regulating goes and who would do it, like I said, if it was me and you're asking me to steel man that side of the argument, I would say third-party regulation. If I'm still manning what other people believe, and that is that this stuff should not be in existence, if I'm saying from the other side that the government shouldn't be involved in Twitter or Facebook or using that stuff to influence elections, then you also have to admit that you're going to have to regulate these things. You can't just say something is bad and then not have a way of solving the issue, or at least bringing up the fact that you don't know how to solve it and you would like to see it looked into. That's my opinion on that. First step to regulate, it's a good thing. I don't know that I totally agree with that. Mr. Wavy. Oh, bro, you are hurting my feelings big time, big guy. You are a little weasel. Brainwashed little weasel. Hey, Kitty Brown Eye, you're back. Dude, you guys love getting shit on. Every time you guys come on here, I just shit on you, and you guys just keep coming back. It's the weirdest fucking thing. It does prevent inciting violence and black market drugs. Free drugs and not prosecuting for drug possession turns cities into shitholes. That's not true in Portugal, Tommy. That's not true in Portugal. That's when we talk about American specific problems, like our drug problem. A lot of that is caused by the war on drugs, literally caused by the war on drugs, because you don't see the same things happening in other countries when we take these policies and perform them. What does bisexual mean? I don't know. You tell me, Dr. Idiot. You got a Tucker Carlson for an icon. You tell me, bro. That's the only thing Trump has to spread his lies. What's up, Pennsylvania preparedness? Fly, Eagles, fly, buddy. Experimental black market drugs. Okay. Liked and subscribed. Thank you, Hypnos. Biden 2024. Damn fucking right. Third-party regulation just means another mask for authoritarians to control. See, that's the conspiracy theory-minded stuff, Steven, though. You have to pick what you're going to do. You either want things to be regulated or you don't want things to be regulated. So I pointed this hypocrisy out earlier. So if you are a person that says you worked really fucking hard and you own a house and you don't want to see that house devalued by having a poor person move directly in right next door to you, then that's hypocrisy because you're asking for regulation. If you say, I'm pro-life and I don't think that you should be allowed to have an abortion, then that takes regulation, and you're also taking away the freedoms of choice. And I'm not saying, Stephen, that you believe any of these things. I'm pointing out the hypocrisy of conspiracy-minded and libertarian type of thinking. And that is that a lot of these times that people say things like third parties could just be taken over by authoritarian or increase the amount of authoritarianism, well, then what you need to actually agree with in this argument that the problem is money. And then if we want to agree that the problem is money, then we can move on to talking about how to treat the disease rather than the symptoms, because the disease is money. The disease is capitalism. And the problem with that is that the majority of people that are conspiracy-minded or that are libertarian agree with capitalism. This is a direct conflict with saying the things you guys are saying. Idiot. Are we talking about genders? Why do you guys come in here and talk about weird shit when we're talking about other stuff? Like, stay on. You guys cannot focus on one thing. Is it ADHD? I don't know what you guys are. We will discuss whatever you guys want to discuss later. But right now we're talking about AI. Jesus fucking Christ. Can we talk about the fucking thing we're talking about? You goddamn fucking ADD-ridden. Oh, Jesus. I'm not against drugs. I'm against experimental laboratory chemicals from China. Yeah. Well, that takes regulation, right, Random? That's what regulation is there for. That's why we have a process. Like, that's where I'm at with that. Yeah, dude's highly fucking obsessed with other people's genitalia. Oh my God. Do I have GTA 4? I have 4 and 5. Dude, I think I have all the GTAs. Okay, hold on. Now I'm getting off task.
These data showing how much people were talking
like
about
and
the
subscribe,
candidates
guys.
and the issues. Facebook released tips for candidates on how to use the platform and released an election app with CNN. Twitter created a political engagement map. Even Amazon released a map where people could track the most popular political books by state. Then came Donald Trump. The 2016 U.S. presidential election marked a dramatic turning point. The extensive use of social media for political discourse, once seen as a...
Donald Trump is literally what would happen if the worst fucking person could get a hold of the internet. He's an old person that doesn't 100% understand what he's doing with it, but he's like going to get on there in all caps and just talk mad shit to people, right? He is like a troll, the very embodiment of internet trolling. Oh my God. Conspiratards think they aren't the mark for all their political masters when that's literally what I'm saying, Vivek. Is that like conspiracy theorists think that they get this information that no one else has, but don't realize that there's a huge business now in conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theory of 40 years ago against what it is today, people don't understand. Being a dissenter is big money. They don't understand that on the conspiracy theory side now, there are entire fucking groups of commentators that make a fuck ton of money off of you believing the shit that they want to, just like what she's pointing out was happening with election results. Everybody is being in some way, shape, or form being manipulated for financial means. But I'm going to continue to go back to this. That is because of capitalism. That is because the way that we do things in our society is based almost entirely off of monetary reasoning. What can make me the most money? What can keep things rolling and keep things going good so I can continue to benefit from society's, what they're purchasing? We are consumer driven. And right now, the biggest commodity is information. It's huge. Information is a huge commodity in the financial section.
The boon for democracy revealed its darker side. This was largely caused by Trump's reliance on Twitter to communicate with his base of supporters in a way never seen before by a candidate. Most politicians in the past had at least one line of social media managers between the candidate and the posting apps, which were filtering their statements into politically
Donald Trump posts all his own shit.
Not Trump. He was clearly tweeting by himself off the...
Clearly. We knew Donald Trump didn't have a ghostwriter. I've said this before. There is one thing that AI I don't think will be able to do, and that is mimic a Donald Trump tweet. I think if AI tries to produce an AI version of a Donald Trump tweet, it'll actually break. Like, smoke will come out the top of the machine and it's fucking over. Oh my God. Move to Sweden! I might move to Sweden. I don't know. Is Sweden sick out there? Is it warm in Sweden? I don't know. It needs to be warm. Something tells me Sweden isn't warm.
Cuff at all hours of the day and
Sex
night,
and Trump in the
with very
same. I'm
little
sorry,
regard for
that
the
one
political
girl. I'm
strategy or
sorry.
even the accuracy of his tweets. The fallout from the 2016 election was swift and severe. Tech companies, once hailed as champions of democracy, found themselves.
Real quick. Sorry, I am so ADD too. Mr. Ashenfire. I follow Dylan Burns. Why did he get demonetized? I don't understand. I mean, I'm probably going down the same route. I'm probably just about to as well. But if you know anything about that, I would love to know, because I've never been able to talk to Dylan myself. I hope to obviously connect with a lot of people in this sphere soon, and I am working on that. I've had an interview with Wick TV. It was great, and we're moving more into that section, but obviously that's going to take time. I just wanted to know. So there's my AD. All this information out there, and people only believe that the one that doesn't hurt their feelings or supports their own side. Yeah, I agree with that, Pennsylvania. Like, I literally just was joking about how I got duped by a conspiracy theory video and how I agreed with some of it. It's just kind of one of those things. Like, people gotta be able to see the other side of things too, so that way at least they can like debate it, right? They keep selling the republic as a democracy. It's not a republic either. It's neither a republic or a democracy. In fact, if you want to know exactly what it is, watch the Legia Miller video where she talks about the fact that it's neither a republic or a democracy. It is something that brings in, and this makes fucking sense, many different ideas from different types of government, and they all combine to be what we are, the experiment known as America.
Facing intense scrutiny and criticism. In September 2017, Facebook released a statement saying it had found 2016 political ads originating in Russia.
Yeah, I guess I won't be going to Sweden.
It was revealed that a firm called
cold.
Cambridge Analytica had used data from Facebook users
Trump
without their
124
consent to build extensive
only words
voter
I can
profiles
spell.
that were then used to place targeted ads. These revelations exposed the vulnerabilities of social media platforms to manipulation and misuse, and started a conversation about the exploitation of user data that we still don't have many answers to. In response, these companies introduced a range of measures aimed at combating misinformation and enhancing the transparency of political ads. But then AI came along and said, hold my fucking beer. Even prior to the launch of ChatGPT in 2022,
Dude, that was hilarious. Why the hate for conspiracy theories? Have you not questioned why we were in Ukraine with CIA bases on the border? Why they had a coup in 2014? Why wasn't peace negotiated at the start? No, I don't have a problem with that, Stephen. My problem is with the fear and hate mongering that happens in conspiracy theories. Most of the time that I talk to conspiracy theorists, we actually meet on a level of understanding of corruption. We meet on an understanding of level of manipulation. But when we start to get into like the details of the whys, that's when you guys lose me. Because when you get into this idea that the world is completely controlled by these certain people and they want to kill everybody off, that's just all hate and fear, man. That's just all like the worst possible things. Like, I don't want to see that. Thanks, Pennsylvania. Human beings lose motivation when they lose hope and positivity. And when you spend your entire life believing that there's a boogeyman in every corner of every room, you are no longer adding anything of value. Instead, you're doing something that is directly against human evolution. And that's you're taking away hope. You're taking away positivity. So when we talk about corruption, when we talk about money influencing these things, we should be talking about positive solutions to these problems. Not just consistently going, but look over here, but look over here, but look over there, but look over here. Oh, look over there. Oh my God, it's all crazy. It's all scary. Oh my God, freak the fuck out! No. Instead, we should be saying things like, when we talk about corruption, when we talk about outside influences, what is the common denominator in that? And that is money. Okay, if money's an issue, then what can we do about money in our systems? You know, that's what we need to go down those lines of thought, Stephen. I don't disagree with conspiracy theories looking into things. I actually think conspiracy theorists have done a favor to us in the way of making our government be more transparent because they know people are hyper-focused on this shit. But I do think we're in late-stage conspiracy theory. I'm going to coin that term. Late-stage conspiracy theory, as I make it up off the top of my fucking head, is the idea that we have gotten so far into AI and technology and the internet and all these other things that we have this open access to endless possibilities, and that has broken the brain of the conspiracy theorist. And now you have so much information in your head, a lot of it incorrect, some of it that is correct, that you're like overloaded and overwhelmed with all of these feelings of needing to do something about these things because you have hatred, anger, and fear motivating you rather than hope and positivity. For a person like myself, I recognize that there's a lot of things wrong with our government. There's a lot of things that are wrong about America. There's a lot of things wrong with the world. But I also recognize that I'm not going to solve every single one of them. So what I want to do is instead spend portions of my time focusing on individual problems and attempting to come up with really good solutions for them. Now, does that always happen? Of course not. Sometimes my education holds me back. Sometimes the things that like I have an ability to research hold me back. But the attempt is made. And I think that the main issue with conspiracy theorists is y'all motherfuckers never solve anything. I have to. Oh, hold on. All right, sorry. Yeah. Thank you, Kunai. I have to say, as a trans person who has to follow these scary news things but hasn't ever been to Pride, I'm certainly going to Pride this year just because I need some positivity before November. It's important, guys. You should be getting out and doing stuff. You shouldn't just be on the internet all day long like fucking so infatuated with this stuff. Tax the rich. Thank you. Tax the rich. Samplers is back. Samplers, it's gingivitis, Samplers. Gingivitis. You haven't learned it. Jonathan, no one cares, bro. Fuck off. No one cares. Jimmy is Jonathan. He says the same shit. Exactly. AI will also free up a lot of man work at the desk and make physical enforcement easier. 100%. Groupthink is so much fun. Exactly. Like, yeah. Make asset seizure great again. I don't know about that. That's going down, like I said. I'm all for certain things, and then all of a sudden somebody's like, let's take all their shit. And I'm like, whoa, calm down. Tax some people, be equal for everyone. Yeah, I think our tax system is absolute shit. I think that it has been influenced by a bunch of fucking rich people that have connection and status. I think that we should be talking about it. But you know who votes against taxing the wealthy? People do! We are our own worst enemies. Because one day I might be a billionaire. Shit, I don't want government taking 47% of my money. Oh, fuck, what if I get rich? Bro, you're not going to be a billionaire. The system is literally rigged against you. But people vote against their own fucking interests.
The world was contending with the reality of AI, especially in the form of quickly proliferating deepfakes. Deepfakes, a fusion
Character
of deep
limit
learning
sucks, I'm with
and
you,
fake,
Steve.
leverage AI to replace the likeness of one person with another in videos and images, making it nearly impossible to
I hear you,
discern
Steven.
genuine
That's
media
something that
from
can be talked
manipulated
about.
content.
That's something that
This
should be talked
technology,
about.
particularly through the use of generative
Sheeple!
adversarial networks, or GANs, represents a significant leap forward in AI's
shit.
capabilities in the last decade and raises numerous ethical and legal questions. GANs involve two neural networks, a generator and a discriminator. The generology, particularly through the use of another in videos and images, making it nearly impossible to discern. AI came along and said, hold my fucking beer. Even prior to the launch of ChatGPT in 2022, the world was contending with the reality of AI, especially in the form of quickly proliferating deepfakes. Deepfakes, a fusion of deep learning and fake, leverage AI to replace the likeness of one person with another in videos and images, making it nearly impossible to discern genuine media from manipulated content. This technology, particularly through the use of generative adversarial networks, or GANs, represents a significant leap forward in AI's capabilities in the last decade and raises numerous ethical and legal questions. GANs involve two neural networks, a generator and a discriminator. The generator creates images and videos that are fake, while the discriminator assesses them against the actual footage to see whether or not they're convincing. And through iterative processes, the generator gets increasingly better at producing realistic fakes all on its own. And then of course there's ChatGPT, which learns based on trillions and trillions of pieces of data we feed it, so it can guess rather accurately how to string words together. And as we've seen over and over again throughout human history, where there's new technology, there are bad actors figuring out how to use it for nefarious purposes. Some random personal examples that I've seen of AI being used for nefarious purposes on TikTok include one channel called Facebook Comments, where a guy just reads off boomer comments on Facebook as written. It's very funny, but a lot of his videos are of people reacting very sincerely to images that are very clearly created by AI.
No one like my artwork. I do. Fantastic. I love it. Oh wow, beautiful. Amen. Wonderful. Amen. Wonderful. So beautiful, comma. Gorgeous work, yes.
I saw another TikTok of a woman talking about a deepfake video of her.
Just gonna continue to go back to the fact that the internet should only be for comedy. Poor people always vote against taxing the rich. Yeah, and that's where I'm from, random. Like, that's, I can tell you 100% for sure. You'll bring what to my front door, Jonathan? You'll do nothing. What the fuck are you guys even talking about right now? I have a brain fart while enjoying a cold beer. Oh, shit. Thinking equal rights for all people makes me a sheeple. Yep, exactly, one girl. Exactly. Oh, shut the fuck up. Okay, Jonathan, here. We're just going to ban you. You're a moron. Jesus Christ. Oh, Christ. Trying to have a good conversation. Stop saying dumb shit. Yeah. Booted. You should try to be less combative with people you're trying to convince them, mate. The name calling. No. Okay, Steven, you came onto a channel that literally I talk a bunch of shit to people on. I'm not here to convince you of anything, my guy. Nothing. Nothing. I'm just on here talking shit. You guys are trying to convince me of stuff. The preponderance of evidence lands on my side, not on conspiracy theorist side. So when you come on here and you say I should stop talking shit to people, if you want to talk to me in a way that is normal and non-combative yourself and say things that are actually factually true, then we can talk about things. But if you come on here and you insult me or you say dumb shit, I'm going to shit on it. I laugh at clowns. That's what I do. That's what clowns are for. Clowns are to be laughed at, and I will laugh at them. If someone wants to come on here and they want to debate whether or not Second Amendment laws are the way to go, if they want to debate whether or not woke ideology is good or bad, I'm happy to do that. But if you talk shit to me, I will talk shit to you. And if you come on here and say some dumb shit, I'll say it's dumb shit. This is the problem with our society. They come into this chat or they go online and they feel comfortable saying things. And then when somebody reacts to them in a negative manner, they go, yeah, bro, maybe you should figure out how to talk to people, bro. Maybe you should figure out how to engage in a conversation in a meaningful and positive manner. And then others may reciprocate. Steven, I'm not going to sit here and hold you super accountable for everything that you say. And you shouldn't be coming in here and telling me that I have to treat you like the gentlest, kindest person of all time. Because I guarantee that you're on fucking chats and comments and everywhere else telling people about how they're a sheeple and how they need to wake the fuck up and all this other shit. And then you come into my chat, and when I actually push back against you, you tell me I shouldn't hurt your feelings. I am not that person. I grew up in a trailer park. I am everything people don't expect about the left. And that's a good thing, because you need people like that in your life. You've had too many of these people on the left that are willing to let you talk because they're like, just take the high ground, all that shit. Fuck that. I was born in the low ground. I am the low ground. Exactly.
Her being used to sell erectile dysfunction pills.
Embarrassing moments. Michael spent years having a lot of difficulty maintaining an erection and having a very small.
Isn't that crazy? And I've played around with Midjourney to learn how that works. Midjourney is an AI image generation tool. And you can look at user-generated images within your Midjourney account, and just scrolling through, a lot of them are clearly people trying to make sexual images almost exclusively
it's
of
even
women.
moved to
And
Canadian,
the vast majority
guys.
of deepfakes are of women in sexual scenarios. Even Taylor Swift, for all her money and power and fame, isn't immune to the dangers of AI and deepfakes, which was revealed after graphic AI-generated images of her were shared on the internet and garnered millions of views before being removed. AI obviously has its limitations.
Man.
When I tried to get Midjourney to generate a courtroom sketch of a black female attorney, it couldn't do it accurately and in the correct style. But it could do one perfectly of a white man. I also couldn't get it to generate accurate art of a woman in judges' robes. This AI is being taught with what we as a society have created. There aren't many pictures of black female attorneys depicted in courtroom sketches because racism. And that racism is then baked into AI. Midjourney is just one example of how AI reflects the deep-rooted inequalities in the datasets that they're trained on. In response to the misuse of AI in the entertainment industry, a landmark agreement was reached following the Screen Actors Guild strike last year, demanding consent for the use of digital replicas.
And actually, the Screen Actor Guild, what happened with it is actually a pretty good precedent to be set, because it's a way that shows that people, if they bond together, can actually influence the way that AI is regulated. So when you have something like the Actors Guild having these, like, you know, clearly important, you know, concerns about where things could go as far as like people being in movies, using their likenesses, using their voice and stuff like that, they banded together. This is the importance of unions. This is why unions are really fucking important, is because without, like, the help of the government in this case, they got together, they bonded together and created a powerful organization that then allowed them to be able to make a difference within their profession to keep themselves with jobs, you right? Like, so this is like actually a good precedent for everybody to look towards, to be able to see, oh, like this is something that we should probably actually role model, something that we should do. This is something that, as somebody just pointed out, poor people don't do. We're all convinced that the people making money are way smarter. They deserve it because they worked way harder. Not recognizing, as you get, like, wealthier, as you improve in social status, you actually recognize that a lot of these people had a lot of things set up for them, and the way that the wealth works within a capitalistic system is that it tends to stay within certain circles, and that you're sold a dream. You're sold a dream of being more than you ever thought you could be, right? Like, that's the idea of the lottery. All you have to do is just keep putting money in this. One day you're going to hit it. You're going to hit it big, and you're going to be just like them. You'll never be like them because you don't have the wealth, you don't have the status, and you don't have the connections to keep it. So when we talk about things like this, the poor people could be doing the same thing when it comes to wealth and equality. You could be bonding together and saying, hey, this is bullshit. Hey, we would like to, you know, we all work hard too. We all work 40 hours a week. We don't get paid very much. We would like to be fucking up there enjoying the things that you guys enjoy too. And all that would take is a little bit of what you have as far as like $93 billion in profits. Fucking, you know, like, I'm pretty sure you can live on $1 billion. So taxing the rich appropriately and closing loopholes, which we all admit exist, and we're like, oh, they're just smart, so they get to take advantage of them. Those loopholes could be closed, but we choose to allow the wealthy and the elite to not close them. Why? Because we've all been brainwashed to believe that, oh, we might one day be them. Or if we do that, they'll all go to Canada, or they'll all go overseas. No, they fucking won't. Everybody has watched over the past 16 years, people talking about how they'll go somewhere else. No one does it. You know why? Because it's not that fucking easy. Okay, none of these people. Elon went to China with his fucking car factory. Ask him how that's fucking going for him. Ask him how his interactions with that government has been. Ask him why the biggest fucking competition to him is another electric car. If people that make $93 billion a year in profit want to go to China because they're mad they're getting taxed too much in the United States of America, they're going to have a rude fucking awakening. It ain't better. Just pay your fucking taxes and keep the economy moving the right way and help fucking poor people have better lives. There ain't nothing fucking wrong with that. Well, what are you guys saying? We got a lot over here. In Sweden, Norway, and France, the unions have successfully shut down Tesla production because not just the car unions chose to protest, postal workers, construction workers, even trash collectors. And that's even like a right-wing thing, right? Like, they don't want the cars to become electric because they think that it's going to, like, lose jobs. It's like, that's actually a good thing to see that unions are doing what people want them to do. The government killed free markets and you propose more government. The free market, dude, there is so much to go into there. Do you think that we can reduce that down to the government killed free markets and you propose more government and more tax? You think that's like, we can just bring that to that and that's where we're going to have this conversation? We're going to have to go over a lot of shit to talk about the free market and what the government has done with it. That's going to take a long fucking time. Wage theft is still a thing that frustrates you. Okay. I'll let you guys argue that shit. That's going to take a long fucking time. Trump is broke. That's true. That's true. Thanks for being here, guys. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Please subscribe and like it. We're going to have some good conversations.
Actors to skirt the system. Get actors to sign away their AI likeness
like that.
rights
I can't
for a
hear you
single
through the
payment,
tinfoil.
profit off that agreement.
Tacos are ready.
Eternity.
Oh shit, the stream is almost over.
Actors Guild is just a canary in the coal mine, signifying what's to come as large corporations begin learning how to exploit
it's not
AI
a punishment,
to save
Brandon.
Money. But even outside of
it's
jobs
not a punishment
and
to make them
and
pay the
very
taxes
real
they're supposed to.
Misuse of your image or likeness for nefarious
you know who
purposes,
gets punished?
The biggest, most
Poor
widespread
people.
threat posed by AI is likely the threat to our democracy and the proliferation of misinformation that has already taken hold, especially since the 2016
You're one of the
election.
sheeple, Brandon.
The World Economic
the very
Forum has
people
flagged AI
that you complain about.
as
You
the
are
most
them.
immediate threat to the global economy, emphasizing its potential to
Thank you,
undermine
Abdul.
democracy and
Thank you,
polarize
Abdul.
society
Abdul's
even further. The
bringing it
accessibility
down
of AI
to something they
technologies
can
means that
understand.
sophisticated synthetic content capable of swaying
Sorry,
public
what?
opinion or questioning the legitimacy of governments can now be created by virtually anyone, anywhere. And this means that our elections are at stake both in the US and around the world. Like I said, this year in 2024, more voters than ever in history will be voting in elections
important.
in at least 64 countries and the European Union, representing about 49%
You can see a
of the
paradigm
entire
shift here.
population on Earth. This is incredibly consequential given the rise in AI recently and the examples we're already seeing of how AI can interfere with elections around the world. In Moldova, a deepfake video depicted President Maia Sandu endorsing a Russian-friendly party and announcing plans to resign just before local elections.
Mhm.
Officials believe the Russian government
So everybody that's in chat, whether you're right wing or left wing, we can all agree that this is something that we should be concerned about, right? This is something that we should all be able to say is important and we need to solve, not just complain about, right? Like, can we all agree on that?
orchestrated this to erode trust in Moldova's electoral process and institutions. In Taiwan, an AI-generated clip falsely showed a
Exactly
U.S.
woke.
congressman promising stronger military support for Taiwan if certain candidates were elected, stirring concerns about foreign interference in Taiwan's
Brandon,
politics.
you agree
by
with this,
social
right,
media
Brandon? You're my
platforms.
main detractor
In China,
right now.
pro-China bots disseminated videos of AI-generated news anchors promoting narratives favorable to China and critical of the United States. A state-aligned campaign used video-generated AI to fabricate news and anchors. In Slovakia, audio clips seemingly of the Liberal Party leader were widely shared discussing vote rigging and hiking beer prices, leveraging the difficulty in verifying audio-only
Hiking
deepfakes
beer
to sway
prices.
public opinion. In Bangladesh,
Oh,
a video
shit.
falsely depicting opposition lawmaker Rumin Farhana in a bikini circulated widely, causing outrage and
Which is an
demonstrating
issue
the
in that
effectiveness
culture.
of even low-quality AI fakes in areas with limited media literacy. In Argentina, AI-generated audio
Looking at you, old people. I'm one of you, unfortunately. That's why Joe Rogan keeps getting duped by fucking everything on the internet right now. Because his old ass just gets high and then watches shit. And then he's like, dude, isn't this crazy? And I'm like, God damn it, you're so old.
recordings falsely implicated Carlos Melconian, a political figure, in making derogatory remarks about women
Biden
and
2024
corruptly offering
hypnos.
government
Damn
positions,
right.
significantly impacting the electoral narrative. In the Ukraine, a viral deepfake of Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky surrendering to Russia
Abdul, you're my new
highlighted the
favorite.
potential for AI to distort geopolitical narratives. And
Thank
in the
you,
United
Abdul.
States, as I said,
Thank you.
robocalls that used AI to mimic President Joe Biden discouraged voters in New Hampshire from participating in the primary election this year. The AI
Yeah, that's in
simulated
our
Biden's common
system.
phrases in an attempt to influence voters who answered the phone. And these are just a few examples of the ways
I'm
AI
right there
is being
with you,
used
that
by
one girl.
nefarious actors to influence elections all over the world. Experts fear a myriad of potential complications that will be exacerbated by AI in our elections. Here are some of the most concerning ways that AI could influence our elections. High-quality deepfake generation. Leveraging free and low-cost generative AI services from tech companies, virtually anyone can now use AI and create deepfakes. The ease of creation and low barrier to entry marks a significant leap forward from the past when using AI required extensive resources and technical knowledge. Rampant misinformation and disinformation. Sophisticated AI tools are being used to churn out realistic yet completely fabricated audio clips, images, and text. This could lead to widespread misinformation, misrepresenting candidate statements, fabricating their actions, or falsely depicting events that never occurred. Foreign entities attempting to influence U.S. elections will be able to use AI to create believable written content without the usual giveaways that the text was written by a non-native speaker. speaker or a bot. This can then be proliferated through convincing-looking news websites, making people with low media literacy especially vulnerable to being manipulated. Erosion of public trust. The proliferation of AI-generated content threatens the very foundation of public trust in the media. As the technology becomes more advanced, distinguishing between real and fake content becomes a daunting challenge, leading to widespread skepticism and doubt about the authenticity of information generally. Voter disenfranchisement. The deployment of AI-powered chatbots spewing false and misleading information could disenfranchise voters. Misinformation.
That's the dead internet theory. That's the one that they're talking about, that like, y'all ain't real, you're just a bunch of chatbots talking to me right now.
Regarding voting procedures, locations, and times could significantly disrupt the voting process.
Sorry, hold on.
Lower voter turnout.
Great random gamer. This is Legia Miller. AI is bad for democracy. If you're still in the chat there, gamer. AI is bad for democracy. Legia Miller, please. Look, whether you're on the left or the right, Legia Miller talks sense, all right? Legia Miller literally has a fucking video called why you should be talking to Republicans. Like, Legia Miller is a fucking national treasure, and like I said, we're BFFs, even though she don't know it, because I fucking love her stuff. Like, she is very good, very smart, says things in a way that, as Steven pointed out, I'm incapable of doing.
And potentially skewed election results. Manipulation of election administration. Beyond influencing voter perception, AI could be weaponized to manipulate the administration of elections themselves by spreading disinformation aimed at suppressing voter turnout or manufacturing fake evidence of election misconduct like ballot tampering or shredding. AI could severely undermine public confidence in the electoral process. The aftermath of elections could see AI being used to fabricate content such as audio clips of candidates falsely claiming to have rigged the results. This could incite unrest and violence, challenging the peaceful transfer of power and the legitimacy of election outcomes. Targeted disinformation campaigns. With AI's ability to generate tailored content, disinformation campaigns could target vulnerable or marginalized communities more precisely, exacerbating existing barriers to their democratic participation and potentially skewing electoral outcomes. Artificial consensus manufacturing. AI-generated text can flood online spaces, skewing discussions and creating a false perception of consensus on controversial election issues. And this can sway public opinion, influence voter behavior, and exacerbate divisions within our society. And the most insidious and unexpected outcome of all of this is that truth itself becomes refutable. The truth has been debatable for years thanks to Trump's calls of fake news and conspiracy theorists disbelieving experts in science, but with AI, the actual truth becomes debunkable. Truthful accusations can be refuted as merely an AI-generated fluke. It gives all politicians the plausible deniability to say, that wasn't me, that was AI. And as AI technology advances at a rapid pace, it's getting harder and harder to tell fact from fiction. And while the examples I've given you and the potential interference with national elections is bad, perhaps the biggest threat is at the local level. When a national politician is the subject of potential AI impersonation, many resources are available to detect AI and refute the evidence. Local elections don't have that influence, that reach, and that access to resources. It is.
And the thing about that is that a lot of people are going to say, well, you know, like on the low, they're not going to have as much access to like the good AI. Technology is exponential. So that means what is like hard to get a hold of now, within a year or two, well, everybody will have it. When you look at your phones, that's exactly what happened with phones. When you look at it, they talk about the singularity, right? When you get to the point where you reach the singularity, it's like we don't even know what could be happening. Like we have no idea. Like our brains can't like process the type of information. It's just like if you ask somebody back in like the 1800s what it would be like to own a cellular phone with every, you know, the ability to talk to people, the ability to be online with hundreds of people at a time, things like that. Like your brain can't process that information. So even though it may be hard to get on a local level at this point, within a year or two, and I mean that within a year or two, you're probably going to see not only is it going to be accessible, but it's going to be sold to people. So you're going to see probably third-party businesses spring up that are going to most likely provide the ability to do all of these things that she is talking about. That's actually like I said, this is what I'm saying, guys. If you guys aren't actually robots, if I haven't already been fucked and this is actually not a real conversation, where's Steven at? I want you guys to think about that for 2 seconds. You're arguing about like crazy shit. Like just let LGBT people be LGBT people. Like be one with your fucking community and realize that you're like fighting against your own community. Like, stop asking fucking, poor people to be okay with wealthy people, holding them down. Like, become part of your community and look at things like this and understand that while you're arguing about fucking whether or not people deserve equal rights, because they do, it should be a fucking given. If we could all just agree that everybody deserves equal fucking rights and it's a given, we could be fucking concentrating on real actual stuff. Like, this is actually important. Can you imagine not understanding, like, whether or not something is real? Like, I already argue with people where I say things like, okay, so you heard that. How did you hear it? Okay, so somebody that you like played a video and that showed it to you, you saw it, and now you agree with it. Have you ever went out, I say this about with transgender relations all the time. I interact with transgender people both on YouTube and I have in real life as well, and I ask them questions about the things that I hear that transgender people believe. Almost all the time do I get the reaction of, no, I don't agree with that. Now, when I say that to a person and I say, okay, so I've spoken to a transgender person, they don't actually agree with the things that you're saying they do, that person goes, well, I can show you a million videos where they do, right? I go, okay, well, fine, that's fine. But have you ever spoken to a person in real life and they've said those things to you? Well, no, but you hear what I'm saying? Like, technology is fucking amazing and it's great and it's awesome, but really, reality defines reality. And being out there and shaking hands, talking to people, having conversations with real, actual people that believe these things starts to bond people in a way that I think that they don't understand, because then you realize, like, this is so much more important. And then we can start looking at things like this, which are AI, and we can say to ourselves, we have something that we really, really do need to be concerned about on all sides of the aisle, whether it's left, right, Trump, libertarian, independent, whatever the fuck you want. Because at one point or another, we're not going to believe anything that anybody says. And that's kind of scary. Help the American more and stop funding wars. That's a little reductive, but I agree with it. It's a much bigger conversation on that. Much bigger conversation on that. I don't know where Jimmy went. Jimmy probably left. Damn, get into the furry conversation. Yeah, Trent. Virtually everyone agrees with equal rights for all people. People just don't want racial and gender politics forced on their children. Like, that's a conversation that we could have, right? We could talk about where I think that our biggest problem is that my wife used to do this thing where she'd say men are, and I get mad. And then she'd say, and I'd say, hey, I'm not one of those men. And she would just do her thing and keep talking. And then she'd say, men are, and I get mad again. And then eventually my wife said, I'm not talking about you. And that was a me problem, just so people understand that. That's not a her problem. That's a me problem. I'm not one of those men. I don't do those things. And so I shouldn't be offended by the fact that there are a lot of men out there that do these things that were pissing her off. And I should understand that they are. And I think that's one of the things with the politics thing when we talk about gender equalization and stuff and race equalization is a lot of people who go, well, I'm not racist. Well, that's good. I'm glad you're not. But we're still going to talk about racism. But you should be able to, like, pull yourself out of that situation and go, oh, okay, they're not talking about me. And when I say racism exists, I know that personally. Anecdotally speaking, I have a very heavy weight of evidence on my side because I grew up with skinheads. I grew up with Peckerwoods. I grew up with 88, 23, Supreme White Power, White Pride, Nazi lowriders. I can go on and on and on. Featherwoods, Peckerwoods, whatever you want. But I can prove to you through my own life experiences that there is a level of racism that still exists that is a problem in America. And when people talk about fixing racism, that what we're actually talking about is fixing racism, not the people that aren't racist. And then people feel like they're getting lumped in with that and being called racist. And then actually they end up doing racist shit because they get triggered by it and say something because they think that I'm being called racist, I might as well be racist. Like, very complicated subjects. All of these things are very complicated subjects. So I hear what you're saying, Trent. Yeah, we don't want religion forced on us either. Republicans don't want to eliminate the IRS, and my math is correct. Look it up. Republicans don't want to eliminate the IRS. I would have to look into that. I think that they don't want to eliminate the IRS. They often put restrictions on the IRS. No, fuck that. Mike? Oh, okay. I read the end of your sentence. I was like, no. Want fucking Putin to win? Kunai. We're getting into the furry conversation. The furry fandom is weirdly human more than most humanity. If you want a good case study of micro-society furries. I was like, I lost like the narrative on the furry thing. We could really go off on that for a while because furries when I was a kid was different than furries now. And my kids are the ones that pointed this out. I'm just fucking old, so I don't know. Like I've actually made a video defending a furry. I gotta stop or else I'm gonna be down here talking about shit all day long with you guys. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys that push back against me. I appreciate you guys that ask questions. I know sometimes I get fucking worked up and yell at people, but that's life, guys. It's the gambit of emotions, okay? We're gonna get worked up. It's good to be passionate. It's good to be motivated. It's good to feel like you're fucking alive. Keep that shit going. All right, we're gonna let Legia finish her thing with you guys on a personal level. I want you guys to go watch Legia's Miller's video if you want to see the end of it, because I want to see her views getting the correct amount and me not eating those views up. So I hope you guys did learn something about this. I hope if you didn't know anything about AI that you did see something in the video that made you go, maybe we should stop concentrating on this other shit and maybe we should focus on this for a minute. Then we can get back to the other shit later. I hope that you guys realize by talking to me that I'm a flawed human being that's imperfect and that some of my ideas are correct and some of them are not. I think I'm right more than I'm wrong, but I might be wrong about that. I want you guys to understand the best thing you can do in your lives is role model your values and to be a positive influence on the people around you. When I talk about conspiracy theory and I talk about the things that I dislike, most of the reason that I dislike a lot of those things is because the negative inferences and the lack of positivity and hopefulness. You don't want to live in a world where there's no hopefulness. You don't want to live in a world where there's a boogeyman around every corner and everybody hates you. That's not a good life. And if you actually look within, you see that you're not living a good life by getting so involved in these things. And I would even say, if you need a timeout because you're so deep in this shit that you're going off the rails on all this stuff, take a timeout. Step away from everything. Let some other people handle this shit. There's a lot of us out there. We can depend on each other. We can support each other. But we can't do that when people are trying to drive fear, hatred, and anger. That's not going to solve it. What's going to solve it is talking about the problems, understanding that we all come from diverse, different backgrounds. Our experiences, our lives have created who we are today. And that if we can listen to each other and hear what each other is saying without driving anger, hate, and vitriol as a wedge between us, we might be able to solve some of this shit. Conspiracy theorists, I just need you guys to stop focusing so much on all these crazy problems and start talking about solutions. That's what it comes down to. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you to the moderators, as always, for being here and taking care of motherfuckers. Abdul, thank you for being here. I love what you're fucking saying, man. Or anything. I don't think about gender, just so you guys know. That's one of the weirdest things about the internet. You never think about the gender of the people behind. I say man, and I'm like, maybe this isn't a man. Fuck. But it's a fucking experiment in not caring about gender, just so you guys know. Anyways, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Fucking hug your wife, kiss your kids. You got a relationship you fucked up over some political shit. Call that person. Tell him you can still get along. It's okay. All right? Go touch grass. Get off the fucking internet. Enjoy your life. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Jose, at the very end, my friend. Jose, I love you and appreciate you. I'm just logging off. You can go back and watch the video from the start, though, buddy. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the Ginger Army. I can't hear through the tinfoil hat has won the day, guys. Oh, no, nothing to be sorry for. Jose, I'm happy to see you here, my friend. All right, guys, I appreciate you. I love you. I'm going to go eat some tacos now. Bye!